No doubt, no doubt. Peace, peace. Welcome to the
Peace.
latest episode of Spears and Mike's podcast. I am Zulu King Just P. We got Zulu King L1 and Zulu King Watt. Watt Slice at that. Watt 2.0. Was good, was good.
Peace.
You know what I mean?
What's goody?
Today we're doing the 25th anniversary of Mobb Deep's album Murda Muzik. We're getting into that and all things Mobb and Queensbridge related. You know what I mean? Heavy, heavy, heavy
Definitely.
good stuff right here. So without further ado, I'm gonna need Watt. Take it away.
Peace. Before we
Peace.
get into Mobb Deep Murder Music, which is a fabulous album, um, I like to address quickly the content creators speaking on the Africa Bambaataa, B Stinger, Ron Savage, Hassan Campbell, aka Poppy situation. Excuse me. Um, a lot of the information that's been out there is incorrect, and we're gonna address it at a later time because there's a lot of things that's being said, a lot of narratives being spun that is really incorrect, and we're gonna break down the history in regards of the connection of the Black Spades and the Zulu Nation, the Zulu Union, and all these allegations as well. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the podcast on the YouTube side, and it's available on all streaming platforms as well. So now let's get into this album.
Let's get into it.
All right, Murder Music, release August 17th, 1999 on Loud Records. The credited producers, of course, Mobb Deep, Jonathan Lighty Williams, Baby Chris Lighty, known as Chris Lighty, Baby Chris, who was also a member of the Universal Zulu Nation from the
From
Bronx.
Bronx from
From
Bronx River.
right, exactly.
Mhm.
You have another producer. You have Epitome, Shamelo Buddha, T Mix, and the Alchemist.
And I just want to say while we mentioned Baby Chris, the Violators, his company name was actually like a street crew. I believe it was like Stick Up Kids or like a strong arm type team. Where Chris Lighty and them was getting busy. They were well, rest in peace to Chris Lighty. Baby Chris, he's no longer with us. I never met the brother, but I know the Elder Zulus were tapped in big, 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 big heavy with him. So Violators and Zulu were kind of like one. And this brother's responsible for managing acts like 50 Cent, Fat Joe, Mobb Deep, LL,
Buster,
uh, Buster, man, who else?
Nori,
Nori, right. He was basically managing probably some of the greatest and best acts of the New York or East Coast hip hop scene at the time, like some of the biggest and greatest acts. 50 Cent, right? He was managing 50
right,
Cent as well, right? 50
right,
Cent was Violator.
absolutely, absolutely,
And I think that's also what deaded the beef between Fat Joe and 50 Cent as well.
correct.
They did it in his name, you know what I mean? So we just telling this because like a lot of people don't want to give Zulu Nation or Zulu the credit that it rightfully deserves. And there were so many different angles and so many different positions that Zulu Nation was, whether it be at the very beginning of hip hop, the naming of the culture, moving it forward, taking it on the first tour internationally, and then just also in the industry as well. Because Chris Lighty was a type of executive that was highly respected throughout the industry. So, we just wanted to share that with you as well.
What's crazy is I think in like '05 or something, right? Maybe like in '05, somewhere around there. I remember I had a like it was called the Connects list, which is like the yellow pages for the industry. You know what I'm saying? And I seen his number in there. I called up. He picked up the phone. I'm like, yo, I'm so and so. I'm trying to do this. He was like, oh yeah. He was like, it was the end of the year. He was like, call me at the top of the year. and hung up. You know what I'm saying? And then I think he died shortly right after that. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Wow.
crazy. It's
Yeah, that's the
crazy.
only other connection I had to him, other than being Zulu. But I always, that's a crazy thing because what could
Yeah,
have
you know,
been?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, King.
No, I was just saying what could have been because like shortly after
Right.
he died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he could have opened some doors for you. You know, you might have been in the game a little earlier and a little bit in a better position too,
Definitely, definitely.
based on that brother's representation or avenues and resources that he may have, plugged you into. You know what I wanted to mention on the brother while we on him, because we probably may not bring him up too often.
Hmm.
Just that whole 50 Cent beef with Game, right? Didn't they say what was that story where I guess him and was it Czar or who was it that he got in? They
Jimmy
went into the
Henchman.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Henchman.
Jimmy
Henchman.
Henchman,
Right.
right? Yeah. So talk on that. Talk on that.
I think the story goes they had an issue with Jimmy Henchman. Known he managed the game at one point, and basically Chris Lighty was ready to strap up and go to war on behalf of 50 Cent and G Unit at the time. But I don't think anything materialized
I
between
heard they
Chris
fought in the
Lighty.
office. I heard they fought.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I
I didn't know
heard
about that.
from, and I don't know if that's accurate. You know what I mean? I don't have no inside
It probably
information,
is
but
though.
I had saw a video where it said that they have fought in some type of office. They closed the door and they got it on. I don't
Oh,
know if that's facts.
Henchman and Lighty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh wow, that's news to me.
They got it shaken.
I
So I
knew
don't
there was
know,
going to be an issue, but I didn't know anything actually occurred.
and that could have been misinformation. I'm not sure, but I
Right,
thought it was interesting. Nevertheless, who knows
right.
what took place. I just know that he's not one to be taken lightly.
Nah,
You
he
know what I
definitely
mean?
was a wild
And
cowboy, as they say.
Yeah,
and
and
then
he's
mind you,
famous too.
he's tapped. He's from the river, so
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
already tapped in with the top of the top goons in the Zulu Nation. So,
Right,
and with the bag at that, so you already know,
right,
like,
right,
you know
right,
what I'm saying. You got the bag, and you from Bronx River, you Zulu, like pretty much
right,
nothing stopping you from taking over. You
right.
Yeah,
know,
and he was running the tunnel like security or something like that.
Yeah, I knew
right,
that. I knew that.
Yeah, he
right.
was like
Then
I knew
Nas
that.
referenced it. Nas referenced that, right? He said Chris Lighty got me in with my gun or something like that,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
something
yeah.
along them.
Everybody referenced
Yeah.
Chris Lighty when it came to the tunnel.
Right, right.
Right.
Just about every rapper that went through there
And for those
referenced
that don't know
Chris Lighty.
the tunnel was, a big club that was like a train station in New York City,
Right.
like a former train station that was turned into a nightclub, big hip hop scene, once a week, and it was kind of like a who's who of hip hop acts in the late '90s, and there was a lot of action there, borough versus borough, just crew versus crew. I think
Unisex bathroom too.
I went there. I remember the unisex bathroom and being bugged out to see women coming out the stalls, dudes, guys and girls making out in the bathroom. It's crazy.
Right.
So, the tunnel was legendary. I was kind of just very young at that point, 19 years old, 20 years old. But it's a crazy time. But we just wanted to speak a little bit about Chris Lighty, R.I.P.
Yeah,
to the
rest in
Word,
brother.
peace.
word, definitely. The interesting thing about this Murder Music album, as we discussed off camera, they had two different versions. Back then, like we would get the bootleg. I know, like me being a hip hop head, we would get the bootleg first, and then actually pay the $15 for the CD or 17, whatever it was. I think it was 15 back then in the 90s. We would pay the $15 to get the physical, legit copy, so
Hmm.
the artists could get their, so they could get paid. Because remember, in the 90s, rappers were running down on the bootleggers. Either the rappers themselves or the street teams was really running down on the bootleggers in New York City and shaking them down, breaking the CDs, beating them up, kicking them off
Yeah.
Jamaica Avenue,
Remember the Onyx
like,
skit? Remember the Onyx skit back in the day?
yeah, yeah, like that
Yeah.
was real. That was real. But I remember buying this Mobb Deep album, the bootleg, the same time I bought the what was supposed to be Nas's I Am. It ended up turning into Nas's I Am, but it was called Nas Escobar 2000, and it had a lot of unreleased tracks that ended up on Nostradamus, the following album, and on it made the first Lost Tapes. So on this Mobb Deep album, they have a unreleased amount of tracks that was supposed to make the album, but didn't because of probably sampling, submitting it late or whatever the case was. And I actually like the unreleased version better because the way the track listing is, it flows better. It's like with the skits involved. If you listen to the
Hmm.
actual release, like the songs, like some of the skits are cut, and you can actually tell, like when you listen to the unreleased version, you'd be like, oh, this is where that came from. Okay, now I see where it flows. Like the songs aren't in the same order that they
Yeah.
are on the
Yep.
original release. So if y'all want to get into the I have notes. I came prepared. So if y'all want to get into the unreleased first versus the actual
Yeah.
release, or you
Yeah.
just want to go songs you like or whatever.
Tell me this. What were you doing when that album first came out? What was life like for you when that album first dropped?
Me,
Yeah.
well, I was in chapter 18 of the Universal Zulu Nation, and we were in the middle of the beginning. No, we were dead August 2017, 99. We were in a beef.
Sounds about
We
right.
were in a
MOB.
we I think that's when the MOB beef started. Yeah, I think so. I think it started like that the year, like a couple of months before when school was ending. And I remember I had like my mother had to sign me out of school. I didn't graduate. Like they were gonna kick me out, and I wasn't able to go in any school in the district. So I had to, yeah. Like they were gonna send me to Job Corps, and my grandmother said no because they were gonna send me somewhere in Kentucky. And my grandmother got at my mother and was like, if you send him out there, with those Klansmen. My grandmother
Mm.
from the South, so that's how she's thinking. She's like, yo, if you send him out there with them Klansmen and something happened to my grandson, I'll never forgive you. So she took me down to Satellite, right down the street from Jamaica High School, and I enrolled in the GED program. But we were in the midst of a beef with this gang called MOB. For a lot of people that don't know, it stands for money over bitches. Excuse my language, but that's what it stood for. They used to wear money bandanas to represent. Um, and basically during that time, like they only lasted a year. To be completely honest, I think yeah, about a year. The gang, and a lot of them either stopped gang banging completely or turned to other gangs because
They
I mean,
wasn't as big as LB. No way,
no,
right?
no,
Like,
no, 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 absolutely not,
what
absolutely not.
about what about LF? Were they were like about as big as
No,
LF? Not even that.
I don't think so. I don't think so. They were deep though. They were deep. They were deep, but they weren't as deep as LF. And by that time, LF wasn't really like involved with stuff anymore, because
Yeah.
LF is a little older than me. I knew
Mhm.
dudes that were LF that were my age, but it wasn't like LF dudes were cool for the most part. I remember like
They
certain
wore the
things.
white flag, right? The white
Right,
flag.
right, right.
Hmm.
I remember in school the dudes that were LF, they were always cool. You know, it wasn't never no static with LF. I was cool with a lot of LF dudes. But yeah, during that, like, not to say like they didn't catch us, because we have a couple of instances where like MOB had got at us, but not for nothing, not to try to boast and brag, we obliterated them. Like, and I'm not even like trying to sugarcoat it, but that was around that time when that album came out. That's where my life was at. I was transitioning to get my GED, and then I ended up not even going there, and I just stumbled in there one day, and they was giving a practice exam for the GED, and I just happened to pass it, because I really wasn't dealing with school at the time, which is funny because uh like we used to cut school and be in the library, reading books and like taking out different books and getting our education there, and just walking around New York City. Like I remember the interview with Cam, like recently. He was saying like it was hard for him to make it to the train station on the way to school when he was in high school, and I laughed when I heard that because that was me, because like I had to take a bus to get to Jamaica High School, and it'll let you off right in front of the train station, and to transfer from like 6 or 7 other buses going in different directions. So when I get off the bus, I'm supposed to be taking from the Q3, I'm supposed to be taking the Q30 or the Q31 up the hill to get to school. But instead, I'm chilling at the bottom of the hill, waiting for the brothers to link up, and we getting right on the train, going to Manhattan, going to Brooklyn, going to the Bronx, going to
Word.
Manhattan to get on the ferry to go to Staten Island, just cause, not with no direction, unless we had an issue with somebody and we were going traveling for a beef or something, we would just go to FAO Schwartz, go to the arcades. Remember, this is around the time where before Giuliani took the peep shows out and the arcades, and put, forgot how many more cops he put out on the street when he was in office. He put
Yeah,
like
a lot.
he put like thousands of more cops
Yeah.
out on the streets
They
of
were
New York City.
trying to clean up 40 Deuce,
Right, they was
trying to
cleaning up
clean up.
42nd Street and all of that. So yeah, we was outside, like we was just outside, So
It was a dope era. It was a dope era.
yeah, yeah. And I'm not trying to glorify
Incredible.
not going to school either, because
No, 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 no.
but
Yeah,
but we like I come
foolish on my
from,
part.
right. I come from an educational background. Like my mother just retired from the Board of Ed 3 years ago. My cousin Wise's mother, which is my aunt, she's an assistant principal. I have twin aunts that are teachers also, and I have another aunt that works for the Department of Health. You know what I'm saying? And my uncle just retired a couple years ago from MTA. So we had a crazy chance of running into him while we cut in school because he drives the train. So like we
Wow.
ducking and dodging, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, is Uncle David coming? Like, yo, you see, is that look like Uncle David? We
Hmm.
see, like, we ducking and dodging every short
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
MTA worker we saw because we thought it was our uncle. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So, like, it was an adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like, just doing that kind of stuff. But, like, to answer your question, not to get off topic, that's what I was doing in 1999. What about you before we
Um,
get into this album?
now I'll go next, and then I'll just real quick. What was you doing around that time, Al? You was in
Oh
Long Island.
man,
You
just
was in Long Island around. You was in Long Island
yeah, I
around
was
that
in
time.
Long Island already. Been in Long Island already for a while. Just really like just buying all of them albums up like day Tuesday, the day they drop, boom, like it was necessary. Like I never bought Juvenile Hell, Mobb's first album, but Infamous I bought it the day of the release. What else? Same thing with Hell on Earth, same thing with Murder Music, same thing with Free Agents, same thing with the G Unit joint that they dropped. Everything, everything Mob related, Prodigy's solo album, I was on all of them release dates. Like to me, that was my thing. I didn't want to hear. I didn't want nobody to tell me what the album sounded like, or someone be like, "Yo, that album is trash," because then it makes you not want to listen to it. So I always wanted to, even if I couldn't afford it, I'll go to the wall store and put the headphones on, listen to the shit myself. You know what I mean? I always wanted my own like locked in perspective and soak it in before somebody tells me it's whack and make me not want to listen to it, you know? Like yo, to this day, DMX second album, I love his first album. His second album, someone told me it was trash, never bought it, never listened to it to this day. Now I don't know, I could
Wow.
be wrong. I
And
don't
that
never
and that
listened
joint
to
with
it.
that joint with multi platinum too. Remember that
Yeah,
came out the same.
Right.
He put those
Same
first two
year.
albums out the
I
same year,
remember
and they
that.
both went multi platinum. That's
I
crazy. I
remember
never
that.
got into Flesh of My Flesh either. I thought it was cool, but
I
a
ain't
lot
like
of
the
people
cover.
from New York might kill me for this, but I wasn't a DMX guy. I'm not even
Mm.
gonna lie. I'm
I
not
ain't
like.
like I ain't like the
I
cover.
thought he
I ain't
was
like the
okay.
cover.
I thought he was an
And
okay lyricist. He reminded me too. I know him and K Solo had the Spellbound beef. Um, I remember Nine was out from the Bronx, and they all sounded similar to me. K Solo, DMX, and Nine. What you want, Nine? Mad Blunts
yeah,
from my run. What you
now it's
want,
dope.
Nine? Yeah, Nine
Now
was
it's
dope, and
super
they all
dope.
sound similar to me. So it
Yeah.
was just like I don't.
Didn't
And then he
DMX
kind of sound
invite
like Blasey Blah too,
didn't
a
DMX
little bit.
invite K Solo to the Frank stand too in that song?
In 4-3-2-1, yeah, yes he did. Yes he did.
Yeah. So
And K Solo was
but
nice too. K Solo was
yeah,
nice too.
definitely salute. Long
That's what
Island
you was
legend
gonna let
too.
me, dog.
Right.
Speak, yo, but
Um
that's what you
so
was gonna tell?
So really, the real behind it was that was when I was first starting the Zulu chapter elite. The Brotherhood Humble and Noodles Joey, they gave me the green light to start the chapter out there because when I was first Zulu on the lead rock, we was kind of just I was just kind of universal, even though he was Gestapo, but he was kind of not connected to the G's because when you know how G's and elite be flip flopping like it be turning over one name it be Gestapo. One day it's Gestapo, then it's Elite. They'll shut the chapter down. Boom. So that happened to Lead Rock multiple times. So he like, yo, I'm out the loop with certain brothers. I don't know what's going on. Like I haven't seen nobody in a minute. So when I finally connected with the brother Nunny out in the Bronx, Nino, he connected him and Tweety connected me with the brother Noodles and the brother Hood out in Brooklyn. And when they gave me the green light, it was like I don't know, 98, 99. So I started recruiting. We already had the chapter, the main core first few members like CJ and so on and so forth. So I'll be riding around with CJ. We have a little beef with dudes or whatever. And Mobb Deep was kind of like the fuel for the
Theme
fire.
music. The theme
You know what
music.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when me and Son will basically go, we have a situation, we throw that Mobb Deep CD in, and that shit was like that was it. We would transform. We was ready to fight whoever, whatever, do whatever, up to no good. And it's kind of crazy because, like, I don't think there was no other music that we listened to when we rode out. Like, that was it. It was just Maul put us in that zone. That shit put the battery in our back, and we was ready to go. So, shout out to Mobb Deep. Like, they probably could have got us killed. But all praises due to Allah. We made it through. Without any injury or harm or getting locked up. But that's what we was on at that time.
Yeah, yeah. What's interesting is that in '99, my son Glow, like Glow's like my friend since I was 5 years old. And I
Salute the
think
glowworm, good brother.
yeah, salute, salute. I think that's when he got his first car. So and I'm in high school. Like I'm 17, so I'm in high school, like 10th, 11th grade. But all I know is yo, he used to come. We used to drive to Wilson Tech, which is a trade school you go to at the afternoon of like your high school day, your school day. You'll go to some classes in the morning, then get a bus and get shipped out to a trade school. And what's crazy about that, just tangential, or on a side note, but what's crazy is yo, we looked at that as like a death sentence. Like, yo, I'm failing school. They're gonna send me to tech, and that was like a legit trade school that could have really helped me had I stuck that out. But we just looked at it
Word.
like it was like a punishment when you fail school, and then you got all the other kids from other towns there. So now the town is beefing with Amityville. Now somehow we're beefing with Amityville, and I just
Right.
remember a couple of times when that album came out, yo, like we're riding to it as we're like. I remember one time we didn't even go to school. We just went up there just to fight, and we played that album all the way there. Or we go to the teen clubs. You know what I'm saying?
That
The teen
shit had
clubs.
you charged up.
Yeah, yeah, that whole album. You know what I'm saying? That was like the soundtrack for like a good minute when because it'd always be like me, Glow. This is when Knight was around. Shout out to J Knight. You know what I'm saying? My son Cat,
Yeah,
like
big
all of us,
salute.
yo. But that's what we would do. Just ride around and just handle biz. Go to teen clubs, play that album, and that was the soundtrack to when I wasn't just jumping off the porch, but it's when I was like, taking it on my show on the road. Like you know what I mean, going to teen clubs in Long Beach or wherever else they are. You know what I mean, and you're fighting those towns or you're just chilling. you go to White Castle after and some bullshit will happen there. But I just remember that album was in the background the whole time. And even as far as like me as like a lyricist trying to come up at that time, that was a real good album. Like everybody's verses was like every song
Yeah.
was
The
like
production was solid too.
yeah, the beats were
The
dope.
production was
It
really
was, it was
solid too.
sinister. The beats were sinister. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
always liked about Havoc's beats is them
yeah.
shits is so sinister. Like you just listen to the instrumental alone, and that shit'll just fire you up. And then with their lyrics, it's like
And
you
P was
know,
still rest in peace,
P
Prodigy.
was like yeah, Prodigy was on top of his game
Yeah, he still
uh, for that stretch.
yeah, he was on like that's arguably the best that he's been as Mobb Deep as far as like that rhyme style he had in that era. You know what I mean? He kind of took a dip, but then he pulled it back together
And
when
then
he
he
got
pulled it back
Alchemy,
together, right?
and then towards the end he pulled it back together. You know what I mean? But he
Yeah.
did take a dip.
He took a dip
That's
on Infamy. On
Yeah,
Infamy, I think.
I
yeah,
think
on Infamy. Yes,
Infamy
I
was
agree.
Infamy.
dope.
I think the whole. I think with him being him dealing with his condition, having sickle cell,
Yeah,
and I think the Jay-Z thing, him being
yeah.
so
He thought it was
angry
Stop
and
tracking.
adamant. Yo, because he was dissing Jay-Z on like every other song. He was
every
sending
other
shots,
song.
and I'm like, yo, come on, P. I'm like, yo, you got to get back. I'm saying it because I bought all of the physical copies of
Yeah,
Mobb Deep,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
or like even the G Unit, the Blood Money album. But
yeah,
yeah. They was
yeah,
on
yeah.
Mobb Deep.
he definitely did take a dip for Infamy, and then he came right back on America's Nightmare. Though he
Even
Yeah.
came right back. He got busy. He
I'm
got
telling
busy.
him, Mac. Anytime,
Yeah.
anytime he got busy with Alchemist, was
Oh
dope.
yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
crazy part is that's not the premiere, like debut of Alchemist, the producer.
Well, Alchemist produced on here. He
Yeah,
produced on
Yeah,
Murder Music.
that's the
yeah,
first
two
time
joints.
he worked with the mob. It was on that album.
Right. 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 And
Um,
I think the connection, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, might be Muggs
yeah, it's Muggs.
because remember they were on the first Soul Assassin. Them
Yeah,
and Infamous
hmm
Mob was on the
That
first Soul
song,
Assassin.
that song is
Yeah,
fire.
yeah,
What's
yeah,
the
yeah,
name of
yeah,
that
yeah.
song?
It can happen to you.
yeah.
It can
Oof,
happen to you. It can happen to you.
fire,
And then
fire.
Life is
Yeah,
Tragic by Infamous Mob is on that album too. So and
Yeah.
Alchemist is a understudy of Muggs
yeah,
and the
yeah,
Soul
yeah.
Assassin. He's a soul assassin.
He was soul
You know what
Muggs
I'm
is
saying?
assassin.
criminally underrated. He's
Yeah.
criminally
Shout
underrated
out
himself.
Muggs. He from Queens. A lot of people don't
Yeah,
know that neither. DJ Muggs from
right.
Queens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a fact.
You know,
Muggs beats is
yeah,
incredible. Like,
Muggs. I mean, but you see Alchemist like
yeah.
even though it's two different styles, like some of the sampling and some of it, some like when you hear Alchemist beats, sometimes like he produced the song Saw for Rock Marciano on what album is that? Not Mount not Mount Marcy, the one before that. Marcialago.
Okay.
hmm
It's no drums. It sounds like a horror film. Like the beat, it sounds like a theme to a horror. Like I want you guys to check it out when you get a chance. It's called Saw. I thought it was Muggs.
Yeah,
I'm not
hmm
gonna lie, because it's so dark and gritty, and it has no drums. And then
hmm
when I hear him, like he shouts Alchemist out in the song, so that's how you know Alchemist did it. I'm like, oh snap, this is Alchemist. I'm like, wow, like you know what I'm saying. But Alchemist is
Alchemist be
he's
spitting too. He be
yeah, yeah,
spitting
yeah.
too.
But he's been
He
rhyming
nice
though.
too.
He's
Right.
been rhyming though. You know,
What's
he was
that?
a part.
Gangrene? What's that? His the group
Yeah,
he's in.
Gangrene with him and Oh No. But even before that,
yeah. He
they
was the
had the group.
hooligan with the boy.
He was the hooligan with my man
Not Kane.
Scott Kane. Scott Kane.
Mm.
His father passed away a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. Scott Can. Scott Can. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Khan.
Scott Can. He's an actor.
What's his father's
Mm.
name? What's his father's something Khan?
Um, yeah, I forgot his name. He was in a lot of movies though. He
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of movies.
His father's a legend.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. He was dope too. The Hooligans was a pretty.
Yeah.
They were pretty dope. He could
I'm not
rhyme.
familiar. I didn't even know that. I didn't even
Yo,
know
you know
that.
what's crazy? What's the movie, the football movie?
Any given Sunday?
No, with Scott Conn is in it. And he's Tweeter, and he has the cowboy hat, and he's streaking through and they had the big Varsity Blues, Varsity
Okay.
Yeah,
Blues,
he might have been
and
in
I
it.
believe Scott Can is in
He's
Boiler
in
Room too. He's in Boiler Room.
He's in
He might.
Entourage. He's in that
He's
things.
in Entourage.
He's in CSI
Well,
Hawaii. I think I seen
Yeah, yeah. I think he
the
isn't he in Miami Vice too.
show or the
Is
movie.
he?
I
I
don't know.
think the show. I think the show with Damon Wayans. I'm
Oh,
thinking
maybe. That,
he
that
is.
wait,
sounds
what do
right.
you? Miami Vice, Damon Wayans.
Yeah,
Miami
they
Vice
had
sounds
a
right.
short show with
Yeah, yeah,
Damon Wayans. I
yeah.
think it was CBS. I think it was on CBS. It was short
Oh,
lived though. It was
they
short
brought it
lived. It was
back.
years
The
ago. It was
show.
years
It
ago. It
was
was
a
years
while ago.
ago.
It was a while
It was
ago.
years ago. And
Wow,
they
I didn't
canceled it.
even.
I think they canceled
Miami
it.
Vice was one of my
Yeah.
favorite
Shout
Of
shows
out
of
to
course,
all
of
time.
course,
The
of course,
original.
of course, of course, of course. Full of Michael Thomas.
shout out to
You
Scott
know,
Yeah,
Storch.
there's
yeah.
you know, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's man.
But yeah, get into some of the songs.
Oh, all right. So we can start at the intro, which I think it's important. Uh,
Wait. What's your favorite before you go into the from the whole joint?
my favorite
Just one.
song.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, yo, it's a lot of joints.
So I'll
Uh,
drop mine then while you think
uh,
about it. Spread love. And I'll probably be
ooh,
bouncing around with it, but spread
that
love,
song is
man. Like
fire.
I feel like that hook is a message, man. And he was really speaking like, cause like you know, like when you young and you influential, and one of your favorites is saying you should spread love, not war. Like that
Right,
should really be having like it really make you think like especially what we was dealing with at the time, right? We Zulu,
right,
and for those that don't know, like, right, Zulu Nation is a knowledge based organization. It's a hip hop organization, but in New York City, right, it's treacherous, right, all over all the boroughs, right, and there was always this thing chasing Zulu Nation where people thought it was like some type of hippie movement, and when they bump into somebody that stands their ground, or they see somebody that's thorough, they like, oh, I thought y'all was about peace, right? How many times y'all heard that? Y'all supposed to
a
be
lot,
about peace,
a
right?
lot.
And then like they trying to tell us what Zulu is and what how we supposed to move.
Right,
And like you know, so it was like it was always this conflict, right, where you're striving to learn the lessons, do right, live right, but then you got somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, trying to ask you, oh, what's them beads about, and then right away
right,
now you got a clash with them, you know,
right,
and it might turn deadly at any
right,
given moment, and
right.
especially at the time, right, for us in Zulu in the late '90s when the blood started coming out of jail, it was always static when we walk in the streets because we always had the RBG beads on. And now these brothers come out, and I don't know what led them down that direction to wear the same type of beads as us.
Yeah, man.
And then on top of that, right, we UZN, they UBN. It sounds
Right.
similar, and no
Yeah.
disrespect to how the brothers, you know, they're gonna follow the path that they were put on, right? You know, two complete separate movements, but now we got similar beads on, we got
Mhm.
similar names, and now we kind of like having a conflict wherever we bump into each other almost.
Right.
So you know that was the times, and you know, it was just I don't know, it was just crazy. I don't even
It
know why I
was.
mentioned that shit, but it's
Right,
just
right,
like,
right. Nah,
you know,
it all intertwines.
his
Yeah.
message, spread love, not war. Like to me, that shit resonated with me because, like, it's a dope message. You know, when these MCs could say anything and have you thinking any certain way, like the brother try to put you a positive, slip a positive message in there, and that really will make you think and be like, yo, you know, we don't always gotta wild out, we don't always gotta
Right,
bang out. You know what I mean? Spread love, not war. You know,
right,
and they're kind of telling you like, if you listen to the infamous, all these tales and these stories, it's kind of like, yo, this is what we going through. Don't go down that same path. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
So it's dope. You know, Prodigy was like a dope storyteller, and he was, you know, he had knowledge of self, and he was just like really dropping a lot of jewels in his songs. Although a lot of it was street shit, he was dropping a lot of jewels. So that's why particularly I like Spread Love. That joint is my favorite on the
I could
album.
agree with that. And isn't that's the first song on the official release too? I think
I
that's
think
the
it's like the second,
what's
third,
the
maybe
first
third.
song? Oh, right,
I
right,
got
right,
the
right. It is because
yeah, I got the list here.
Street Life is on the
So Streets Raised Me is the first
yeah,
joint,
Streets Raise Me is
and
the first,
then What's Your
and then
Poison? Spread
What's Your
Love is number
Poison?
4.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because like it's funny you say that because Spread Love Not War is not even on the unreleased version at all.
Okay. You think it was
So
recorded afterwards to
probably when
combat
but I think you know
combat the
what I think.
bootleg?
You know what I think. I think artists record a lot of songs, and then whatever makes it, and whatever is left over, whether they can't clear the sample or it's just left over. Because
Right,
sometimes the
right.
labels will pick the songs too, or like you'll debate on what's the final version. Like, well, maybe this song sounds too much like this, so we'll like submit this instead or whatever. But for me, I made a decision. Where your heart at is one for me. Like I go back and forth between illustrious and where
Fire.
your heart at. And I chose Where Your Heart At because of the sample and the lyrics, of course. But the sample is from one of my favorite artists, Sade. You know, that's one of my Sade Adu is one of my favorite, like in all genres of music. Like she's my top three behind Prince and Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So like I love the Sade sample that they got in there, and the song is called Fear. You know what I'm saying? So if you look up
Yeah.
Fear and you hear Fear, you're gonna hear the sample, like because it's clear. The way Havoc flipped the sample is clear. You know what I'm saying? And like the lyrics P was spitting, of course, and the hook. You know, like basically asking you where's your heart at in certain situations. Like you got to stand up for what you believe in, basically at all times, even when the odds are against you. You know what I'm saying? Like life is going to test you, and like where your heart at with this. You know what I'm saying? Whether you in the street, whether it's with whatever, it doesn't necessarily have to be the street because you can interpret it and internalize it
Mhm.
how you want to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sticking with where your heart at.
Yo, you know what's
Solid.
crazy? Sade's the name of the group, not the woman.
Yeah, but it's the name of her also. That's her name too.
I think her name is
That's her name.
Helen.
Her name is Sade Adu. The name of the band is called Sade also, but her name is actually Sade.
Then who's
Right.
Helen? Don't they call her Helen?
I mean, Helen Sade Adu. Right. That's
That's her full
right.
name.
Yeah, that's her full name.
I always
Yeah,
Yeah.
thought that was crazy that that's
That's the queen right there.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
incredible.
Yo,
Her vibe
yo.
is tremendous.
You know
Like
what's crazy? If my wife was listening right now, she'd get upset because I always used to tell her as a kid, I had a crush on her. I had a crush on
who did?
Sade as a
Who
kid.
didn't?
Like before Nas say the only nigga that Sade dated Nas, you know what I'm saying, on that Wu Tang song on Let My N Words Live. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Hmm.
Like he mentioned Sade, and I'm just like, nah, that was my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like because as a kid, like listening to it, like my mom had Love's Deluxe.
He had
You know what
Sade.
I'm saying? Yo, like a lot of people don't like her because,
You talking about
well,
Nas?
I never heard of
I've heard,
anyone ever say that.
I've heard a
I
lot of
mean,
people say, they don't like her music because she's not soulful enough, like in her singing. Like, you know, I used to sing myself, so I understand what they're saying, but I like her voice and I like her music, and she penned her own stuff. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So, like, I respected it, and I respect her artistry. And I bought all of her albums all the way up to Lovers Rock. I remember being in the Navy, and she dropped the album, and I bought Lovers Rock, and I used to play it before I went to bed. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
Like, yo, I used to have a CD player on, and like this is back in the 2000s, so the iPods, you know what I'm saying, wasn't out yet. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So
Yeah.
I had the CD player, I had the Discman, I had the Panasonic, and I used to go to sleep to
Off off
Sade.
off topic because I see you kind of have like a kind of a crush on her. I would say, right? Like
I
back
did,
then.
I did, I did.
So
From
so
a kid though.
so if let's say, I'll speed it to like, let's say 19, let's say 99, 98, 97, somewhere late 90s. You could go take Vanity out on a date with
Yo, you
Sade,
wildin'.
or what's the other sister that everybody loved? Was it Apollonia? Right? That's a third, probably.
But Apollonia wasn't that. I mean,
So we'll take her
yeah,
out of the equation.
it was
Vanity
vanity.
or Sade. So they both telling you, yo, what? We would love to spend some time with you and go out to eat. Who
Yeah,
you taking out on a date?
I'm going with Sade.
What P? What about you?
I mean, I would like to say Sade, and because I'm a worldly man, a conscious man, but I do like smut, so I'd probably go with
Yo, so wait,
Yo, P,
so
yo.
wait, P, you saying if you went out with Vanity, she probably gonna get you to smoke rock or something like that? Like,
No, I mean I'm
get you
not doing it,
do
but I do like your smut quality. Like you
Yo, you
I
wild,
read
you
you
wild.
like a
Yo,
nasty, you like a nasty
and,
girl.
Vanity is no
I
longer
was
with
up
us
north
neither.
and I read
Yeah,
Nikki
man.
You
Six,
know,
but to hear
actually,
how they had crazy stories, the situation, the relationship with Nikki Six from Motley Crue and Vanity was
right,
insane. So,
right, right,
I
right,
mean,
I'm
I'm sure
even
right,
not even
they were
privy to
fun
right.
that.
times. They were fun times. Nikki
Well,
Six is fun. Crazy girls are fun. So
you know, no disrespect to the women that's listening, but Vanity is definitely like I
it's
think
Oh
she's
yeah.
probably one of the most beautiful women
oh
that ever
no,
walked the earth.
not at the end. She's
Well,
But
she cleaned herself up and became
when
an
she even when she
evangelist towards the end,
yeah
and I think,
yeah.
yeah, you know, and she definitely was. I remember I saw her in. It was an article in Jet magazine. Now you know how throwback this is. This is Jet magazine, and she was doing evangelical work,
Right. She definitely came up.
and they was asking her if you had a chance to marry somebody, who would it be? And she said Prince.
why slice
Nah, she ain't say why
No,
Slice. She said Prince, my second favorite artist of all time. She
yeah
said Prince. You know what I'm
yeah
saying? But yeah, I'm going with Sade though. I'm going with Sade. Like, you know, no disrespect to Vanity,
yo
but
y'all think Ty Mac got some action with Vanity though?
probably it's in the
Oh,
'80s. So they was there,
think so?
and she was
I
I
don't
don't think
know.
he had.
Nah, I
He
think
looked
Tom
very
Mack was
reserved
too.
and
Yeah,
quiet, right?
And Tom Mack was definitely on his. He was Zen, so I don't think
Yeah,
anything at that time, like anything negative or poison, he would deem poison. I don't think he was with it
yeah.
personally. I don't know. I could be wrong.
If I was him,
He
I'd be mad. I'd be mad if I didn't have that opportunity. Like,
he could have
you know what I'm
cleaned
saying?
her
I'm
up.
gonna let that.
in the '80s.
Yeah,
Boy, we going out.
Nah, I'm
yeah.
going with Sade. I would
Yeah,
love to
I would like to
hear.
say it's a
I would love to
conscious
have
man.
a normal conversation
I don't really like.
at that time. I would like to have a normal conversation.
Do I
I
really
know
want to have the normal? Like, I don't really care what you gotta say.
and like Sade is a gangster too, though.
No,
Sade is a
I
gangster
know.
too.
I'm saying it's in
Yeah,
the
where's
Yo,
she
look
from?
it up. She's from her father. I think she's from the UK somewhere.
Yeah,
But like her father was Algerian.
Hmm.
Like I know she's all types of African and European, like
yeah,
mixed.
she
You
was
know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? All types of like Northern African, I believe, or might be Nigerian or
She
Algerian. I don't
definitely.
know. But
Yeah.
I remember one time she did get into like an incident with the police. I think it was like right either before or around the time Lovers Rock came out, and she gave a statement, and people were like, like trying to get at her because I think it was over like speeding or something. And she got pulled over, and she just was like, "Look, I'm not a role model. I'm a musician. I put music out because I like to, not because of like fans or anything like that. If y'all like it, y'all like it." And I respected her for that because she didn't put
Yeah.
herself like in a role model
Hmm.
position where she's just like, yeah, I'm making music, so I have to be perfect. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I get mad. I have human emotions just like everybody else. You shouldn't put me on a pedestal.
That
You know what I'm
probably took a
saying?
lot of pressure. That probably took a lot of pressure off her too, to be free like that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like when you say that, I just think of LeBron James and how much pressure the brother have to walk that straight and narrow path. You know
That's
what I'm
like
saying?
Charles
Like,
Barkley when the dude threw the drink on Charles Barkley and he trashed him in the bar and he just was like, yo, like I'm not like don't throw drinks on me. I'm not a role model. Yeah, I play ball or whatever, but I'm not a role model. Like don't think you and I'm human too. Don't think you could come up on me. I think Charles Oakley said that too when him and Mason had beat some dudes up in Manhattan when they was both on the Knicks playing for the Knicks and they trashed some dude because dudes be trying dudes and thinking they gonna get a paycheck or something. People
And
are crazy.
during that time, he was rooting for Luke Longley and them.
Uh, yeah, I was. I'm a Chicago Bulls guy, so why wouldn't I root for
Uh,
Luke Longley?
come on,
He
man.
could have
Like,
he could have his 9 points and 13 rebounds a game. It's all right. Mike finished it for him.
Well,
Mike finished it. All he needs is that 9 and 13. But anyway,
yeah. So
we
let's get back to the mob.
we can get into this album. I'm gonna go to unreleased.
John, the man them, my
Oh,
yeah.
I forgot. Your take. Right. Your song. What's your song, P?
And celebrities are role models. Don't let nobody tell you different. But um,
Uh, I beg to differ, but
I mean, if they, by default, yes. You know what I'm saying? And when you
yeah,
want them,
but
and when you want them to be, yes.
yo, I wasn't brought up like that. I
It,
wasn't
it,
like,
it shouldn't be, but it is.
yeah, I'm not looking at them to
I
make
know
life
you
decisions.
you are right man, but that don't mean they
They
not.
can't like they got these people on stage at these conventions,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, twerking and saying,
right. But
what
that's
you're
the
gonna do,
nuance,
brother, and all of that. I'm not with all of that, man. Like
right?
you can't use them to sway me.
But that's you the exception into the rule. See what I'm saying? They do it.
Right.
They doing it. So obviously, they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously,
And,
there's
but they've
something.
been doing it. They've been doing it
They
though. But
been
anyway,
doing
let's
it.
get we not gonna get political
Yeah.
on here. But yeah. But go ahead. What's your favorite song on the album?
We spent beautiful time in minutes on the lovely Helen from Northern Africa.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, yo, I honestly like The Realist, and I like
Ooh.
It's Mine.
Yeah.
And I mean, no
Okay.
particular reason other than technical rapping. You know what I'm saying? Prodigy's verse was dope. All three of their verses was dope. But G Rat's verse
On the
was
realist? Oh
yeah. All three of their verses was dope. But G
yeah.
Rat's verse was game changing on that.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And he has a lot
He's
of
top
verses like
five.
that. It's just at
He's
that
in my
time.
top five.
Right.
Top
And keep
five
in
dead or
mind,
alive.
Yeah, he's in
he
my top
wasn't.
five.
He wasn't. It wasn't like how the game is now, where you could just drop independently and still get noticed. Like G Rap, like nobody. He wasn't really out there like that at that particular time. So it's not like
Right.
it was like for him. It was just
Yeah, he
another.
didn't even have an album out at that
Yeah,
No,
time, I
no,
don't think.
wasn't
Roots of
Roots of
Evil?
Evil.
I don't think
Roots
Roots
of
of Evil
Evil was
came
out
out.
at the.
low key. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really
Yeah, it wasn't.
the rap.
Nobody really. We knew
But
about it, but a lot of people
cause
wasn't
cause
checking for it.
cause that was Papoose debut on
Right.
Roots of
And
Evil.
Jinx, right?
He was already
Jinx the
acting like
Juvie,
that.
yeah.
Right.
Right. And Free
He was
Jinx the
already
Juvie
acting like
too.
that. He wasn't. It wasn't
Word.
popping like that. If it would have came out
ABG,
now,
right?
it
He
would
was
have been another.
ABG.
Yep, absolutely.
But
But
it
he
wasn't.
got involved with something else too.
What happened to them? ABG? Anybody get it? That kind
I
of
don't know. They
was making noise and then it disappeared. I guess with all these different little, I don't want to say little gangs or disrespect anybody that was a part of that. Because if you put in pain and time for something and
yeah,
energy
you
and
gotta be
you
respected.
know, you
Yeah.
gotta respect it. The
Yeah.
timeline, they were
I mean,
definitely making a little bit of noise. I ain't
Oh,
gonna
they
lie,
were.
like they
They
was
were.
making
They
noise.
were. They were. Especially
So
in Brooklyn. Especially in Brooklyn.
right,
they're
salute to
gonna do
anybody that was
somebody younger
representing
than us, just
ABG.
like what happened to Zula. In a minute, we keep playing
Right,
him. Yes.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah. True indeed. True indeed.
right.
And
All
But
right.
shout out to ABG.
you know what I'm saying?
Word.
But
And Free Jinx
let's
the
get back to
Juvie.
the album, yo. Let's get back to the
All
album.
right, so I'm gonna go for the unreleased version of the album, which I prefer, even though It's Mine featuring Nas isn't on there, and I do like that song. So the
Yeah.
first is an intro. They took an excerpt
Wait.
from.
I'm sorry. I'm my bad to break your wisdom.
All
I'm
right,
so
what's
sorry.
up? What's up?
But right, they was getting that Pac on there, right? I mean, Thug Life is Mine, right? To me, that's a
Yeah,
shot, right?
yes.
Right?
Silk shirts and my chest show what a flirt. Yeah.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
guess. I
Like
guess that's shots. I guess you could
that's
consider that
shots.
shots. But
That's a
because they threw
shot,
shots on the album before. Nah,
right?
but that's not shots because well maybe. But Pac was already
Thug
dead
Life.
though. But Pac was already dead.
Oh, right. You're
That
right.
is true. That is
So
true.
you're
Pac was
right.
already dead. If they recorded
You're
it
right.
before and just put it out, it's not really considered shots because Pac was already gone.
Well,
But
to me, when I heard that at the time, to me
Hell
that's
on Earth, the Hell on Earth
hearing somebody
album,
say
the Hell
"Hell on
on
Earth."
Earth
We know,
album
yeah,
was
that
was
was
for Pac. Drop a Gem on him was for Pac.
Drop a gem, correct?
That was
Drop
Yeah,
a
kind of
gem
whack.
on him was definitely for Pop, and
But
P
it was
P went
whack though.
off.
He went
big
off,
time.
but it was like he went off on
Uh,
like the quintessential. It could be for anybody. Only those that knew.
robberies in Manhattan. You know what happened? 60 G's worth of
Everybody
gun
know.
clapping. Who
Everybody,
shot you? You
everybody.
probably
Yeah,
screamed louder than the opera. New York gotcha. Now you want to use my
I
mob as
didn't
a
really
crutch?
know. I didn't
I
even.
don't know. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's
Super.
speculation. Or you know,
Nah, we knew, we
Nah,
knew,
everybody.
we knew.
We knew.
Everybody knew that.
I was alive and had no idea. I heard the rumors, but it wasn't
I
like
knew.
you know what I'm saying.
Now,
To me,
once I heard it,
I
once
didn't
I heard,
that, but I
I
can't say
remember that. I
that.
remember that vividly because I remember my man telling me like, "Yo,
Right,
listen to
but
P," because he had heard it before me. He said, "Listen to P," and when
right.
I heard, "Yeah, likewise," tired of rap guys, and I'm like, "Oh man, here we go."
To me, it was a dope song. But if it was going to be like like Pac got at your name more times, like Pac got at
He
them, so
did.
it
He
was
did.
no debate. You know what I'm saying? That was like a cheap
He
little
did.
like it was like a cheap way, but it was a dope hip hop song, but like a cheap way to kind of wiggle out of. Cause they did kind of wiggle out of that beef, yo, and they ain't never like they didn't. You didn't see them fuck around with what is it, Capone Noriega, LA. They made them take your verse, like
Hmm.
Rodney's
Yeah,
verses off.
P took his verse off. Yeah,
You know
P
what I'm
took his
saying?
verse off.
So to
Well,
me,
maybe
But
that was some.
why did Pete take it off though? I
because he
forgot
was
the info on
scared.
that.
I
He
don't think because
scared?
he was scared. I don't think P was scared.
No, I don't
Hell
think
yeah,
so
I
either.
hell
think
yeah,
it
he
might.
was
I
scared.
think it might have been the and I could be wrong too. The Queensbridge, the known Queensbridge history of them not getting along with each other.
Yeah, but he still fucked with Matter of fact, maybe, but I don't know, cause he still fucked with Nori and them after, and they definitely still fucked with Capone after. Even though, like, you read that book, Prodigy had problems with Nori's man, one of the Thai nitties or something, and then I
No,
think
Ty Nitty was infamous mob because remember they
Nori shot one of
remember
them.
Nori.
Nori shot one of them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but
Now I gotta mark this as explicit. Thank you, P.
Yo, you only need son. Y'all be on the reels more than me. Y'all don't see people in there just talking away, and then you got to read a certain number before. Like, how does Nori get away with it, yo? You know what I'm saying? How does Mav get away? Like, I don't like. We'll burn them bridges when we get there, but you're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright.
Yeah, you gonna get a
yo,
zapped.
you
I'll be putting
crazy,
that
P.
this
What's about shutting
safe
you?
for all audiences.
They don't shut
P is
nobody
crazy.
else down. They don't shut
P is
nobody
crazy.
else down. You're gonna be
Your
alright.
mouth is filthy, P.
P is unhinged. But
Yeah, but
Well,
we're
all
not.
right, so let's get into this real quick. The intro, like I said, it's an excerpt from Ronald Reagan's speech.
well,
Um, with the background music, the Crime Inc. theme, Crime Incorporated theme, right? And then comes the title track, Murder Music, produced by Havoc.
What do you think, Razor?
Uh, oh yeah, so the Murder Music title track, produced by Havoc, dope song.
That
Um,
music, though.
yeah, that's a real dope song.
I
I
like
think
it and didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie, since we're talking,
worldwide.
why
because I
you didn't
don't
like
really
it?
like when you do like if there's gonna be singing, like it did it, but I don't know. Like I liked it because
No,
it was
they not that's thug music, not murder
well,
Yeah,
music.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like the singing.
Thug music is the singing. I like
I
thug
like thug
music too.
music. That shit fire.
Yeah, it's dope, but I think they could have used her to sing something
Who is
else.
that? That's not Ty
That's
Nitty on
Chinky.
that.
That's
Who?
that's
That's
Chinky.
Chink.
That it is. Who's on it? All three of them are on it. All three of Infamous
Oh,
Mob is on it. All
The
three of
niggas is
Infamous Mob
open
is
on
on it, and
that.
Chinky singing. And
Yeah,
Chinky
I
yeah.
singing.
agree.
Chinky, for
Like,
those that don't know, Chinky is a singer from QB. She normally collaborates with Mobb Deep, Infamous Mob. I
yeah, they
think
really
she
not.
might be on a Screwball track.
She's his
Mm.
Basically all Queensbridge artists, big twins. You know,
right.
she's definitely a legend in her own right.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Um,
But I mean, she could have not sang on that. They could have saved her
So
whole.
she's kind of like the blue raspberry or
or
tequila,
Takita
right?
of yeah, to Wu Tang, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I
So
get it.
after Murder Music, we got this interlude kind of. It's like a skit from Cormega. He's freestyling, and he actually disses Noriega and Nature. I don't know if he was playing or serious because at that time, Nori and Nature were on fire in the streets of New York, on the mixtape scene, on the radio. And they had a song called Magic and Bird, which was pretty dope. It was on the Clue tapes, it was on Ron G, it was on a lot of these DJs' mixtapes. And Cormega has a freestyle where he's basically saying, "Y'all think y'all Pippin and Bird, I mean Magic and Bird. Havoc is Phil Jackson, and me and P is Jordan and Pippin." And then it cuts right into the song featuring Cormega called "What's Your Poison" or "Deer Park," if whatever you want to call it. It's in parentheses,
Mm-hmm.
"Deer Park" or "What's Your Poison," and it's featuring Cormega, produced by Havoc. What y'all think
Yeah.
about that song? I personally like that song. I like that song
Cormega
a
went
lot.
wild on that shit. Cormega
He
went
did.
wild on
A
that.
lot of people don't like Mega though. A lot of people
Oh
like.
no.
I remember back when Mega was introduced to us through affirmative action, right?
Mm,
Everybody liked affirmative action on It Was Written, and then when Mega started doing his own stuff and the firm music was coming out, that I remember dudes in high school wasn't really feeling Mega. Street dudes was feeling Cormega because of the stuff he was
mm,
talking about, but like people that was just like listeners, they just was like, he rhymes off beat. He puts too many words. And Mega had his own style. Mega had his own
yeah.
style. Like out of everybody from Queensbridge, I guess because Mega, he's from Queensbridge, but he has ties in Brooklyn and Far Rockaway, Queens, right?
Mm,
So I
He's
think
the only one that
like
don't got to the Queensbridge flow.
right. That's what I'm saying. He has his own style. He has his own style. Like
right.
right. Like his writing style is different. And that's what I appreciated about him. I don't like hearing more than one person that sounds the same. I don't. I mean,
Right,
that's what it
right.
is now to me. But I appreciate Mega.
I
You
like
remember hearing
Mega.
Mega on the I think like when Def Jam was releasing like
Yeah, remember
Onyx shut him down
that
Right, right,
joint?
yeah,
98.
yeah, yeah. That was
Remember they had the
that
bonus
was the month
disc,
of the
like
man. Wasn't that the month of the man or the survival of the illest?
yes,
Survival of the illest
Survival of
tour.
the Illest.
Survival of the illest
Yeah.
tour. Right, I
Where they was
remember
giving
that.
the bonus. Remember they threw the
Right.
Cormega joint on and I'm like,
Yep.
yo, finally. Cause yo,
Right.
that was like
That was Dead Man Walking.
one of the
Yo,
most anticipated albums.
and you
We
know
was
what's
waiting on
crazy?
that.
The album got shelved. The album got shelved. He left Def Jam, and then he ended up releasing the Testament years later. And I bought it, of course. I bought it. And that song you're talking about, Dead Man Walking, in it was banned in a few countries because of the violence, the violent
Hmm.
content in the song.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But it was
Shout
on the
out to
album
Mega
though.
though.
Yeah, shout out to Mega, and that's the Muslim brother also.
Let me
Yeah,
say
Um,
this.
yeah.
Let
And
me
yo,
say this.
shout out to him when he was on Drink Champs too, when he didn't want to drink and all of that. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
right,
that
dope.
was dope. You know what I mean? I like when
right,
people stand on something and they don't give in to like certain things. Because you be having people that don't drink and then they go up there and they get drunk and start
right,
acting a fool. I
right,
thought when
right,
Mega did it, it was dope. I thought when Royce the 5'9" did it and not drunk, did it
Yeah,
and not
they don't
drink. I
drink
think
though.
that was dope.
I never seen anyone like maybe Benzino, but I've never seen. I've seen people that drink act a fool, but I've never seen them. Nah, they do get people to drink when they don't kind of drink though.
Doggy Diamonds didn't drink either because he doesn't drink.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what's up.
They didn't. I
But
don't even think they offered Doggy Diamonds a drink because I
right,
think
right.
before he even started recording, they already knew that Doggy Diamonds doesn't drink or smoke, so they didn't even mention.
Yeah,
I don't even think they played the Quick Time with Slime with him either, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
But
Don't go on Drink Champs. Don't be Benzino and don't be Sadat X. And
Oh
no
man.
disrespect to them
oh
brothers,
yeah,
but
Oh man. Oh
that was a
man.
bad that was bad that was bad for the culture.
Yeah,
we
Derek
talking
You
was
some
know.
looking
people.
crazy.
If you get buzzy enough and popping enough, and you want to go in there, that's stupid. But like if you a celebrity hearing us, and you take our advice, you know what I mean? Try not to do that.
Yeah.
But to
Uh,
stick to your
yeah.
point, or just expand on that. Like a lot of people, in my opinion, don't like Cormega if they're not real street oriented because he
Right.
got a
Right.
different type of flow and he's not real super lyrical miracle. And he
And,
does
and
have
the
a type of
content is different too. The
well the
content is
content is
real,
street. So
really,
like
yeah,
you're gonna fuck
yeah,
with him if he's street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like even Prodigy, what like Prodigy just was a little bit more lyrical, but he was more street. But Prodigy would throw some lyrical shit in there where he
Right.
gets where Cormega won't really do that, and Cormega does have like a stutter flow. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
probably why a lot of people don't. But like the streets love Mega. You know what I'm saying? Mega about to. I'm about to see him in a minute, yo. We about to at the J Ronin. Shout out to J Ronin. But the Mega's
Okay.
about to be soon, yo. September 20th.
No, Mega's
How
dope.
is Jay Ronan? How is Jay Ronan?
He good, yo. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
We've mended fences.
Okay.
That's the low life brother. He's doing good.
Tell him I
I didn't even
apologize.
know he was low
T-
life.
Tell him I apologize for our
Nah,
mishap 10 years
nah.
ago.
I'm not bringing up. We
I
spoke
think it was
about
more than 10 years. It was more than 10 years ago.
we spoke about that for the first year when I came home. He would not. You know what I mean? Like we're over that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay.
I use that as a reference of how serious we were going hard. No freaky for Ben. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
like
Right. Right.
I use like when I was down there, I'm like, yo, I because like the thing is. That's just his personality, like you know what I mean. But he meant well, you know what I mean. He was
Right.
telling
Right.
us the truth, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Right. 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 Right.
But
and
you can't be mad at the truth
yeah,
now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
you can't be mad. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So
thank you, brother.
Yo,
Thank you for the
I was on
info.
that phone call spazzing. He
well,
We
was
didn't
like, yo,
receive it.
he was
It
like, yo,
wasn't
what?
received well at
Chill.
the time. It
and
wasn't
mind
received
you,
well, but
like we spoke about it a good couple of times. Where now it's nothing. Run is my people's, yo. You know what I
All right,
mean?
that's
that's what's
good.
up.
That's
I
good.
just
That's
did the
peace.
Elements Festival in June. You know what I mean? That shit
While
Okay.
was
burning bridges like a crazy.
Nah, I
yeah.
wasn't trying to. I just like, he was talking, he said
Right.
what he said, and I said what I said.
Yeah.
And I
That
told
shit.
him, I was like, we can whatever you
Another
want to do.
unfortunate because I mean, how many bridges do I have access to for me to burn it down? But you know what I mean, for a
Right.
lot, for a
Right.
scan. You know what I'm saying?
But look, not to reference that in a negative light, but like, look at the time, right? You get that type of info, and you give it to the wrong person, and it's off with your head, right?
Right,
Because we didn't know what was what. We wasn't certain. You just hear little rumors, little funny things, and
Mm-hmm.
now the truth is all out, and it's like now he say that we got to high five him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, salute. You know
And
what I mean? Like,
you
salute
would
for
think
standing
he'd
on the
be like,
truth.
yo, I'm not gonna do this to people that are really dedicated to something I founded. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not like robots or fucking minions or like toys. Like we're real people. Like he had no love or respect or consideration for people that dedicate their life to
Yo,
that.
but that goes along the lines of a cult,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah,
And I don't
yeah.
want to talk about that right now because we kind of getting
Yeah,
sidetracked. We're gonna address that. We're
bring our
gonna nah.
spirits low.
We're gonna address that though in due time. We're gonna like put everything out there where it needs to be, um, without disrespecting anybody.
Right.
Just keeping it real. And this is not like hearsay or anything like that. This is
Cause
this is
yo,
the
even
truth.
I don't want nobody mad and don't call me. If you upset, just fall back. I don't want to really hear nothing.
Yo,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
be mad at the
Be
person that
be
did these
mad
things.
Be mad at the
Don't
founder. Be mad at the
yeah,
source of the issue. Don't be mad at the
yeah.
brothers that standing firm on principle, true to the law. Right? We talk about the 20 laws and all of that. Y'all put this information out for us to live by it. We living by it. Not everybody's living by it. So
All right,
don't be mad at the brothers that stand on truth. If you want to just brush it under the rug and think that we're gonna just keep on getting by like that, just brushing it under the rug, you're gonna be in for a bad mistake down the line. You're gonna be pretty surprised when there's nothing left. So either we're gonna stand on the truth and strive to move forward, or go ahead, go on your method and brush it under the rug, and you're gonna see ultimately that's gonna leave you with nothing. I'm telling you, that's what it is. It's either we're gonna stand on truth, or there's going to be nothing left of this. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let all these years go down the toilet. That shit means something to me, and I know it means a lot to a lot of people. So we got to wake up. Zulus, wake the fuck up.
right.
Seriously.
Word.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
what you got there, right?
All right. Song number 4 is "Feel My Gap Blow." That's on the unreleased. It's produced by Havoc. Pretty dope song. Short, to the
Yeah,
point.
I wasn't too big on that one.
It was
You know what
okay.
I mean?
It was
But
okay.
I think there's not too many skips on the album. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
yeah.
that
No,
much.
no,
It's
no,
something you could let rock
no.
like
Well,
The-
all the way through.
right. The next
I
song
think
is
it's
a
better than Hell on Earth too. I know I keep sidetracking this
mm,
conversation.
now you
mm,
good.
I re-
What do you guys feel about his
uh,
influence on the bridge and the bridge as a whole in hip hop? Like I said before, they have a similar flow. Like you can almost trace back
who?
anybody that comes out of Queensbridge.
Oh, well, first of all, Tragedy Gaddafi is my
Okay,
favorite out of the bridge over Nas too. Over Nas. And I'm not,
okay.
it ain't. The Intelligent Hoodlum, that, 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 you got to remember,
Yeah, but
he's from the Juice Crew. He's from the Juice Crew All Stars, rather. He's from the Juice Crew All Stars.
yeah. His resume is crazy. His pen is
He,
crazy.
but
it
But
Nas's
is,
last
but he doesn't have the
Nas's last
commercial.
one is amazing.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the commercial success of Nas. And then on top of that, he had his own issues that he was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you saw the Queensbridge story. It's about him. It shows him locked up and everything. That's a dope. I caught it on YouTube years ago. It shows how he brought CNN together. It shows how 2-5, the movement started.
so
252, 2-5 to
if you
life.
had a if somebody said we're gonna wipe out Tragedy's career or Nas's career, and you're gonna say because Tragedy you pick Tragedy over Nas, is that what you're saying?
Yo, he's the father of
Yeah,
Queensbridge.
because they all
He
No,
influenced
I
Nas.
get
He
it.
influenced Nas.
I get it. I
He can
get
say
it.
Nas
I
can
get
say
it.
G rap all he want. He can say
And
G rap,
I'm
and
a
that's
very
granted. That's granted. He
yeah.
can say G rap, but the style of Queensbridge is trash.
No,
That's
I see
hands
it. I
down.
see
That's
it.
hands
I
down.
see it.
From the lingo, from the pseudo Islamic references,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all of
All of
that stuff,
that.
from the militant references. Like he
Hmm.
named it. He named it Kuwait. I'm telling you, in the documentary, when they started calling left, right, Iraq, that's from him.
yeah, I know.
Right.
That's from him. All of that
Because
he
he
brought.
managed
The
CNN,
war,
right? He
the
managed
war
calling
report
Nori.
is him. That's
Right.
him. Listen to the war report and then listen to NORE. Two totally different Noris. Even though Nori was dope on both,
But you don't hear it, and you
you don't
kind of
hear
hear
the
it.
is you don't hear the
You
five
hear it in
percent
the smoke.
references on NORE like you do on the war report,
Now
and
the
that's because
Right.
that's trash.
but the
Right.
trash flow is in Capone, not Nori.
Yeah,
Nori
yeah,
could
yeah, 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 yeah.
you can
I mean,
hear
Nori got his own thing. Nori got
he
his
got his
own
own
thing.
thing, but
Yeah,
they
he got
have
his
like
own
a
thing. But
certain
I'm
he got like a
I'm talking about the
flow.
references that Nori
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
used is influenced by trash.
But
Uh-huh.
That's trash.
like,
And remember,
No,
Pone was locked up for a lot for
mhm.
like he wasn't on a
For the
lot of
first album.
songs. Yeah, he wasn't on a
Right.
lot of songs
but
on
I'm just saying they have a certain thing. But that's not to minimize because Trash is my son. You know what I'm saying? But that's Trash. Like that's to me and his own career. That's what he has. Where like Nas definitely got that influence of tragedy. But like you look at his overall career,
I mean, yeah,
it's
but
nothing to compare to like
Nas ain't
Trash.
never do a jail sentence neither though. You know,
Right,
Traj was
right.
doing
But
bids.
multiple ones. He
Oh,
did
but
Traj
yeah,
was
that
doing
don't.
bids.
right,
Yeah,
right.
but like
And
that's
Traj
not here nor
and
there.
Traj
Like,
wasn't in it, but I'm just saying as far as the work, as far as the body of work.
But
Because
he,
you listen to Traj's albums. I don't know if y'all like that song Illuminati, that with him and Imam Thug.
right, right, right.
I'll put that up against a lot of stuff.
But but
I
look at
like Thug
Nas's
Matrix. That album is fire.
yeah, and
It
all
is.
tragic. You know what I'm saying? Tragic stuff. Look at
Against All Odds is fire. The
look at
album
tragic
Against
stuff
All
now,
Odds.
and
Huh?
look at tragic stuff now, and in Nas's last 5 albums,
I
yo.
don't. I haven't heard any new Traj. I think the last thing I heard, he had an
Tragic has
EP,
good
a
stuff.
collab.
Tragic is great. What I'm saying is, Tragic's been home a minute and he's doing well. He's been home a minute, and
Right,
you
right,
can
right, right.
the last time you've been home, and like it ain't comparing to Nas's last run. Like that King
Right, but
Disease, them 5 albums is like no one's doing that, yo. No one's really
No,
coming back
nobody.
and they're
He's
50s.
in, Nas is in a league of his own,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Jay's
and
not
that
even
doesn't
doing
take
that.
anything
From
away
Trash,
from
from Trash, because Trash is
Trage's.
dope. You know what I'm
I'm just
saying?
He's a
saying I
legend. I mean,
like
he's a
I fuck with
legend.
Trash.
I,
Trash is dope. But
that's still
Nas
not
got
that's still not that's still not deterring me from picking Trash.
Trash
Why
is the
we said
bomb.
this, me and you talked about this before.
Trash is the father.
Queensbridge, Queensbridge is probably the greatest amount of talent in hip hop culture, like MC wise. Probably could go to Queensbridge or Brownsville, one of the two. You know what I mean? Because you
I
got the
agree.
whole, basically the whole entire boot camp clique, Master Ace, so on and so forth. So much
Smoother
talent
hustler,
coming out of
right?
Smooth
Right.
the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler, like Brownsville and Queensbridge and Jamaica got to be three of the most
Right,
filthy
right.
areas for hip hop.
But
Like,
but this
you know
the
what I'm
thing
saying?
though.
Best Eye also, but it just so happens Brownsville just got
But
what is it's crazy.
but the bridge is really to me sound like everybody except for Nas is like they learned it and they got a little like flair and they can do the trash flow. It's like it's in the water and they learned how to do that. Where Nas,
You know who got their own flow from the bridge?
Black Poet, yeah,
Black, I was just about to say Screwball. I was just about to say Screwball. I mean, two of
and
them are no
Candy.
longer here.
Oh, I know,
Hostile died, and
but
KL.
that's not.
Piece of the Killer Kids too.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Piece of the Killer
absolutely, absolutely.
Kids.
that's
But
not.
Killer Shy got his joint from Traj too. He was
Yeah, yeah,
similar
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
Traj.
He got the
He
he
was,
to me he's the best at the trash flow, and you won't
yeah,
even
yeah,
know
he
because
was.
Shaz is mad cool. You don't even consider,
Yeah,
but
yeah. He's laid back, quiet. Yeah, nah. Shy
but
is
he's the
nasty.
best at the trash
Shy
flow.
was a DJ too. Shy was a
Yeah, and
DJ
he does
too.
mad things. Shaz was my son. He's the one that put me on, but he's like
Yo,
the
real
best on trash
real
flow.
quick, I just wanted to say about Killer Kids. I wasn't up on them. Like I had heard Time to Shine. That was the only joint that I had heard. And I don't know, P, if you remember Fabulous Fab managed Buster on Ninth Ave, like in Long Island where I'm from. Like he lived downstairs from
Oh
me.
yeah, I've heard
Right?
you.
So he
Yeah,
brought me the record and he was like, "Yo, I think you would like this." He put on Time to Shine. I'm like, "Oh, I think I heard this on like Stretching Bobbito or something like that, right?" And he said, "Yo, one of them dudes right there, we like him. We about to sign him to Flip Mode." And I was like, "Word." Wound up being Baby Sham. Like he's, I
He was
knew
nice too.
before he got signed, like, they was listening to him and I thought that was crazy, like that he just gave me the record, like, yo, yeah, we about to sign him to Flip Mode and then, Flip Mode came together. I thought that was a dope
I,
group,
I
you know
just
what I mean?
speaking of the Killer Kids, I just saw an interview like a couple of months ago with Foul Monday. He was added later to Killer Kids. He like didn't grow
I
up
never
with
heard
them.
that music past. I do know.
Yeah,
I got a song, but I
yeah.
don't.
Foul Monday. He was talking about a bunch of stuff. Like they were signed to Ron Artest, him, Chalice,
Yeah,
and
right,
Ruck,
right.
Mr. QB, Ruck. Those are some of the original members of the Killer Kids. But yeah, Killer Kids was dope. I'm still going with Traj. I know
Trash
y'all.
is
I mean, I love
trash.
Nas, but I'm still going with Traj.
Nas is
No,
Just
it's
because
Nas is
nothing
because I
wrong with
love
that.
like him. That song, "A Message to Kill a Black," TM. That's one of my favorite tragedy songs, along with Illuminati and
right.
Thug. You know what I'm saying? The song Thug. But as we continue, after Fill My Gap Blow, there's a skit and it goes into, I think it's by Adele Givens, the comedian. It's a stand up and it goes into Let a Hoe Be a Hoe. And that's a Havoc solo song.
Hmm.
I think the song was dope. Think the
It's
song was dope.
cool.
That's Hav's lane though. That's Havoc's lane. He likes to talk about the females and what he do. It's a crazy story. I went to high school with a female from my neighborhood, and then she ended up going to another school. And she was saying her homegirl that was like a couple years older than her was messing with Havoc, and Havoc kicked out the car like while the car was moving. You know what I'm saying? Like slow though. Like I think it was like kicked out on the Ave or something. And there's a story like where you see the halves Timberland like kick. You know what I'm saying? After she flew out the car, like kicked her or whatever, and they was arguing or whatever, and then he sped off. But that's half. I
Nah,
think the
brother.
song. I think the song was cool. Um, it was half, like I said, but on the difference between this song and on the unreleased and on the actual studio released album is they don't have the skit. It's like a cut off. It's like a cut off of the skit and then it goes into the song. The unreleased version has the whole skit, and I believe it sounds like either Adele Givens or not some more somebody else, but I'm sure it was Adele Givens, and maybe they couldn't get that cleared of her voice because it was a long part. It was a long part of her stand up. So after that, you got "Thrill Me" featuring Big Noyd. What you think about that song? I know you listened
Like
to it.
that shit.
Was your three? Yeah,
I
"Thrill
like it
Me"
a
is
lot,
dope.
and
The
I
beat is
love.
dope.
You know, I really wish that like you know, Mobb is one of my favorite groups of all time, and outside of Smith and Wesson and Helter Skelter, you know what I mean. But like, Um, I really wish Noyd was on every song. Like to me, when I listen to Mobb, I feel like Noyd brings an interesting dynamic and he just makes the group better. Same thing with MOP and Teflon. I always felt like Teflon should have been the official third member, like, and on every song also. I hate those guest appearances, sporadic
Mhm.
appearances. Like Noyd should have been on everything. He was dope. I bought his EP when it dropped. I know you bought it also. You know what I mean?
Got a wild story about that too. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yo, when I was in high school, when I did go, my mom put me in this program that was sponsored by the Delta sorority. It was for the youth. It was called Teen Lift, right? So they would like prepare you for college, right? And I think I was like in ninth or 10th grade, maybe. It might have been ninth grade. I'm just like, I'm not even thinking about college because I'm already a truant. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a habitual truant by that time, and
Yeah.
I'm just going every Saturday. So, you know, they had a black college tour that they let us go to. So we went to Kellogg University. We went to the South. We went to Morgan State. We went to like all these HBCUs. We went to
Ran the whole
Morehouse.
circuit.
Yeah, we went to Morehouse, Clark, Atlanta, Morris Brown, all of these joints. And when we went to Atlanta to go to Clark and Morehouse and Spelman and all of that, you know, it was spring break. You know, so you know it's wild out there. This is like Freaknik. You know what I'm saying? And Mobb Deep was out there, right? So we coming out, we walking, you know, on the campus, and I see Noyd. So I run down, like, you know, we from Queens. So I run down. I'm like, yo, peace. I told him I was Zulu and everything. He was like, a word. And I saw they had Mob First Infantry t-shirts.
I
So
remember that.
yeah, so
They were
I'm like, yo,
selling
right.
those on the album, right?
Yeah. So I'm talking to Noyd and I'm like, yo, I got your album, bro, Episodes of a Hustler. And he looked at me. He was like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 14." He was like, "You got my album?" He was like, "Yo, no lie." He was like, "I used the album sales as a re-up." So I started laughing, and he was like, "Yo, for real?" I was like, "Yo," and I'm reciting lyrics to him and everything. I was like, "Yo, Episodes of a Hustler. The song is my joint." You know what I'm saying? And then you know I'm reciting rhymes and all of that, and I'm like, "Yo." I go to P. P is out there. He got the t-shirts. So I'm like, yo, P, how much is a t-shirt? P told me $30. So I'm
Mm.
looking at him like $30, and I'm looking at the tag. It said Fruit of the Loom in the tag, right? So I'm like, yo, like not to disrespect nobody, but this is real. I'm like, yo, Fruit of the Loom, like you charged me $30 for a Fruit of the Loom. I was like, yo, actually, my undershirt is Fruit of the Loom. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't paying my moms, ain't paying no thing. Maybe $30, less than $30 for the whole pack of t-shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Noyd actually stepped in and was like, yo, he got my album. Get a little homie a t-shirt. And I'm not gonna say he forced P to give me a t-shirt because P gave him that look, but P gave me the t-shirt for the
Right,
free.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
As
And
you
I
said,
always
as you said.
right, and I always appreciated Noyd. It made me appreciate Noyd even more. You know what I'm saying? For that. And I think that was a dope moment. And I was like, yo, I got the t-shirt. I was rocking it in the hood. And everybody was like, yo, where you get that t-shirt from? I'm like, yo, Mobb Deep gave it to me. They're like, yeah, right. I'm like, nah, like they really gave it to me. You know what
Yo,
I'm
what
saying?
on the real like every hip hop group owes you a T-shirt. Like you done get you brought a meal for
Yeah.
everybody. You done bought the whole
Yo.
discography of damn near every like hip hop album. Like why God like he had a book like this with like
I had
500
two books.
CDs in
I
there.
had two books. I had a separate book for just Wu-Tang albums. And then
Right.
I had the albums each separated by borough, coast. Like I had the
Yeah.
Midwest, I had the West Coast. Like yo, whoever when we ride with me, I'm bringing both books and we pulling out whatever. We
I hear
listening to
what
whatever.
I had Watt on the joint, right? I'm like, yo, let me borrow that book. I want to upload all that shit on my iPod or whatever, right? He like, yeah, I ain't listening to music no more. You know, he took Shahada. He like, I ain't listening to music no more. I trashed that. I cried. I was like, yo, what?
Yo,
What?
somebody
Like,
stole it. Yo, you know what's
had to
crazy?
be $2,000 worth of
Yo, no
like
lie,
probably
over two
five
thousand.
thousand.
Yo, you know
Yeah,
what's crazy about that? I put it out for the trash, right? And I came out like trash run Saturday morning at like in Queens, my grandma's block. So I came out like that morning before the trash truck came, for the garbage truck came. I came outside to like put something else in the trash. Yo, the books were gone, both of them. I'm like, yo, somebody came up.
rightfully
And you
so.
know what's crazy? What's crazy is years ago, I wanted to hear Coogee rap Five Family Click of Respect because my man is on
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Shout out
yeah,
to
yeah,
40
yeah,
Cal Hammers, my man
yeah.
Bill. I grew up with him.
That
That's my man. And shout out to
that
Ma
joint is
Barker,
fire.
his sister.
Yeah.
They from my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Now listen. Hold on. Hold on, hold on,
He
hold on.
keeps that. So
Hold
wait,
on, P.
wait, you should listen to no more music.
Yo, hold on, P. Hold on. So I'm about to I go on YouTube to listen to see if the album is on there, right? And I remember distinctly, I had the CD I had it. You remember CDs that get scratched if you play it for too long or it starts skipping
Hmm.
whatever, and it gets scratched. This one song that was on the album, it had a particular scratch at a certain time. While I played the album on YouTube, somebody uploaded it and it had the same scratch. Wallahi, I was like, yo,
Yeah,
they got
that
my
was your
CD collection.
joint.
I said, whoever that is got my CD
Word.
collection.
This
Facts.
nigga,
Was crazy. Yo,
how you find it on YouTube?
I had every, yo, cause like I typed in the album because I wanted to hear the album because I was like, yo, I haven't heard that. Like, sometimes you be like, yo, I haven't heard this in a long time. This is before the streaming services and all of that. So YouTube
Yeah.
had everything.
No, I see it
Napster,
on YouTube.
Napster was done.
I
We all remember Napster.
Yeah,
Dudes was
yeah, yeah.
pirating music and all of that. Like Napster
Yo,
was done.
P,
LimeWire was done.
why let me the book? I'm uploading joints to my iPod. I got the iPod that's like this thick. The shit was like 64 gigabytes or something. I don't know what it was. Some big boy shit. Had you could take like 10,000 songs. I'm burning I'm bootlegging all of Watt's collection on my shit. I'm bumping, yo, when I moved to Yonkers, someone stole that shit out of my and I knew that was it. And I had mad of your music too, mad of y'all music. Matter of fact,
Right,
Shelly
right,
Green
right.
shit, all unreleased Zulu joints from God knows how long. And I was so tight, man. I never felt so violated, man. They didn't steal nothing in the car. They just went in my glove compartment, stole
They
my
got a gold
iPod.
mine. They got a gold mine, yo.
And I
And
bet you that dude don't even appreciate all the joints that I got on
yo,
there.
when
They
I used to
had to,
buy
man.
CDs,
Stole it.
we used to buy physical CDs, and I just used to like to read the credits. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Production.
read the product and see
Shout
like
outs. Even
the
the shout
artwork.
outs.
Yeah, the artwork. You know what I'm saying? It was just different. That's like reading a book now versus than reading a Nook or like reading
Hmm.
something on your phone or on a tablet. But having
Hmm.
a physical book, having a physical copy of something, like
Yeah.
there's no replacing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really
I
like
used to
that's a
like when they had
different
the
type.
lyrics, when they had the lyrics also, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And you get to call people out like, yo, he ain't say that. He said this. or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo,
oh, this
I
was produced
remember
by such and such.
I remember being like 13, 14, looking at the Wu-Tang, the Enter the 36 Chambers, and the shout out list was
Oh, that
crazy.
Zulu
You
Nation was in
you
that shout out list too. Universal
for I
Zulu
was,
Nation definitely was. Yo, and it's
I was gonna
crazy.
get on that.
He definitely RZA definitely shouted the Universal Zulu Nation out on before Clan in the Front actually too, when he did the Wu Tang Killer Bees on the Swarm, and he
Hmm.
started mentioning the Clan. Then he mentioned the Wu affiliates, the Five
Hmm.
Percenters. He mentioned the Zulu Nation in
Right, right,
the
right,
before the song came on. But
right.
yeah,
And then
I
also
definitely did have a.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to F with, he
Oh, right,
shouted it
he
out
did say the
also.
Zulu Nation, right,
Peace to the effing Zulu Nation.
right,
You
right.
know what I mean?
Yo, I
And
definitely had
these
the
are
crazy
things
collection though.
these are things that you just start hearing, and you hearing all your favorites mention it. You like, yo, I got to be a part of this. Like,
Right,
this is for me.
right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
So,
crazy.
so after Thrill Me, we got Illustrious. That's one of my favorite joints.
Hmm.
Produced by Havoc. I think Illustrious is the beat is fire. The beat is
Super.
fire. The lyrics is that's top notch. Prodigy.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Which
saying?
one of these better verses, yo?
He was in his zone. He was in his
Yeah,
zone
he
on that
was.
album.
He was
That's what is crazy.
heavy
Remember
metal for the black
LL
people.
remember LL said that Prodigy's his favorite. So
Yeah.
that right there, like, to come from LL Cool J to say Prodigy's his favorite,
LL's in
that's to
my
show
top
you.
five too.
But what
Yeah,
Just
up
to
with
he,
just to let it be known, he from my neighborhood. Not only because from my neighborhood, but because he's just like he survived a lot of different eras, and people
hmm
could say like he make songs for the chicks, but when it's time to get in the booth and get busy,
That's what I'm
that
yeah,
that
saying.
dude holds his own.
monster.
Them niggas
Yeah, he's
ain't
a
like
monster.
what LL does. Like you see his run now. Now he talked about how he's like 56 now, trying to drop an album, and it's dope.
I,
And how
I see.
he had to go back and learn how to rap again.
Right, I
Learn the
saw that.
syllables. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he went and sharpened that up. Where it looked like to me, when rappers get a little older, whatever come out, come out. And Prodigy was like the first standout example of like, you know what, you know what I mean? Not lazy, but kind of weird. Cause like I remember just watching that. Cause I never like I read the credits and all that, but I was always writing rhymes, so I'm trying to learn as much
Mm,
as I can about like the game. You know what I'm saying? The industry. So I never really
right.
like, and I never really had money to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo,
I
you
never
want to
was
hear
like
something crazy?
a like that, yo.
You want to hear
Yeah,
something crazy? When we was cutting high school, right? Remember I told you Wise went to LaGuardia,
yeah,
so we was always in the city, right? The city, for those that don't know, that's not from New York. That's Manhattan. We call Manhattan the city, right? So we would go to the city, and we would either go to Tower Records, right there on Avenue of the Americas,
right.
right there, or we would go to the Virgin Megastore. And back
Yeah,
then,
Virgin was
the
my
the
store.
the
Yeah.
CDs weren't in the security, the double security case. They only had a sticker on the back. So we was taking CDs, and that's the only thing I could honestly say that I stole was music. You know what I'm saying? Like
So a lot of
we was going in there, yo, it was crazy, man. We knew where the cameras was at and all of that. And you
I got
know,
caught stealing the infamous album.
yo,
I didn't have no bread. I didn't have no bread, and
yo,
I brought a few.
yo, no lie,
I got caught stealing that one.
My
no lie,
favorite
No,
one.
yo.
no, nobody. It was at Nobody Beats the Wiz. I had the cellophane off of it. I'm slipping it in my pocket, and homie over the register, they had the tall registers, and he looking down. He like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I was like, oh, nah, yeah, nah, I'm not. You know what I
Yo,
mean? Put it
we
back on
was
the shelf.
taking. You remember Tower Records had two floors, so you could take the escalator up to the
Right,
magazine
right, right, right.
section and where they had the records up there, right? And you could actually play records and all of that. So we used to go upstairs with the CD, take the little sticky security thing off the alarm joint off the back, and go upstairs and slit it in a magazine. And then if we had a female with us, we'll stuff it down her skirt or something, cause they not going to check. Nah, for real. Like, yo, ask Wise. Yo, I'm gonna get white. Yo, I remember Killer Army, Silent Weapons for
Peace to
Quiet
Wise.
Wars, and Peace to Wise. I remember Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars and Stone Crazy came out the same day. Stone Crazy by the Beatnuts and Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars by
I
Killer
bought, I
Army.
bought, I
I
bought both
had
of them.
both. I freed both of them. I got
Yes,
both of
sir.
them for the free. I got
Oh
both of them
man.
for the free. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying? Wu Syndicate first album, got it for the free. You know what I'm
yo,
saying? Like
crap.
we had a lot of joints. We had a lot of joints, man. Like, cause
If
you
you
know we
can't afford
kids.
it, you can't
We
afford it,
was
you take it.
We was 5 finger discount, and Waz was a professional thief.
Well, you have
You know what
to
I'm
then, you
saying?
know, he has a
Yeah,
lot to take
Waz
that
was a
low.
professional thief. Yo, if anybody ever seen the movie Kids, it's a famous movie about New York City, about kids in New York City experimenting with drugs and sex, and HIV plays a major role in
Mm-hmm.
it. It's Rosario Dawson's first movie.
Yep.
Some of those actors in the movie, I actually did a Levi's commercial when I was like 13 with some of these actors. You know what I'm saying? I did a Levi's commercial where we walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. I wasn't in the union, so I only got paid for the 3 days. That's when my life started going left with behavior and all of that. So my mom didn't pay the extra couple of hundred to put me in the union because I had to prove to her that I deserved it, and I didn't. I didn't prove it to her, so only got paid for them 3 days. But anyway, there's a scene in the movie where they go in the store and the dude Casper, one of the characters Casper, he tucks his jean he tucks his
In his
pant legs
pants.
and his socks
Mm.
and throws
Yep.
240 ounces down them so they wouldn't slide out. That was wise. We go in the
Well,
store and I used to be shook. I'm like, yo, because we're gonna have to fight to get up out the store. We're gonna have to fight the Indian dude that run it, or maybe the Dominican or the Puerto Rican that owns the bodega or the corner store. And Wise
damn
was
German.
Yo, Waz was. I remember Waz put 240s down his joint. He put 240s down. Like
One for
Waz
you,
was a
one for
master
him.
thief. Yeah, Waz was a master thief. Waz was still. Remember the cigarettes used to be behind the counter. Yo, we would tell Pop like, yo, Pop, we want a hero. You know what I'm saying? Hero was a sandwich. I know a lot of people in Philly they call them hoagies. In New York we call them heroes, right? So
In
we
Yonkers, they
we
call
would
them wedges.
we used to tell Poppy like, yo, go make the sandwich right there. And we was like, nah, put some. We used to tell him like different boards had meat. Like, nah, we want this, we want that to figure them out, like to fool them.
Uh,
And
uh,
meanwhile, we taking packs of Newports. Wise is taking packs of Newports for the joint, so we would have cigarettes for the day. You know what I'm saying? So he taking like a quick five. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you
and
smoke?
we
I
get up
didn't even
out
know
of
you
there.
smoke bogeys. I didn't even
Yo,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah, I used to smoke bogeys. I don't smoke a drink no more. Like it's been like over a decade, well over a decade. You know what I'm saying? Probably even longer drinking. I probably haven't had a drink in maybe since the last time we had spade juice. Maybe.
Word,
And that
word.
was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was before I
almost
took
yeah.
Shahada.
Yeah, that was
You,
almost
I
20.
think you had just took Shahada. I think at
Right.
that
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
Or right
So
before. I'm not sure. One of the
right,
two.
right. I took Shahada in '07, I think. Yeah, because that's when I stopped working for customs. Yeah, so it was '07. But I wasn't. I'm still ignorant. So I was still ignorant towards certain things, and it is what it is. But yeah, we used to steal them CDs though, and we used to have like a bunch of them. But in '99, I did not steal Murder Music. I actually copped it from Hot Wax, a famous record store that was on Jamaica Avenue, where a lot of people did in stores. I actually bought like Water for Chocolate by Common there,
That's
and
dope.
Common actually signed the CD for me. We was cutting school, and Common had an in store that week at Hot Wax, and I was cutting school and I saw Common across the street on Jamaica Avenue when Hot Wax first was opening. It was early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be in school. We truant as usual. We about to go head to the train station, and I saw Common. I said, yo, hold on. I'm like, yo, Rashid. I hollered,
Mm.
Rashid. And he turned, like, looking, and he started smiling, and I pulled the CD out the book bag. I'm like, yo, I got that. He started shaking his head, nodding his head. I ran across the street. I was like, yo, can you sign it? He signed it for me. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Common for that. We
Yeah, peace
appreciate
and
that.
comment.
You
Let
know what
me
I'm
let me
saying?
say something about Common too. Like, some people may not know. Maybe I don't know if I told y'all the story, but the Zulus in Amityville, Rollo and Samson, they was a little older than me, and they was tapped in with all the artists. Like, what was the brother from Gravediggers? He's
True
from was
poetic.
it
Grim
Gately?
Reaper. Green
Grim
Reaper.
Reaper, right?
Right.
He
True
from
poetic.
Amityville.
Right.
He from Amityville, and of course, De La
De
Soul is
La.
from Amityville.
Right.
And they told me they used to see Common out in Amityville, and they started bumping into him at Busy Bee, and out in Massapequa, which was like a flea market, right? Busy Bee. So that's right next to Amityville, like a town over. And they used to bump into him, and then Common told them like, "Yo, I'm out here in New York." He was basically living with De La Soul in Amityville, Long Island, probably recording
That's
music,
dope.
vibing with them. And I thought that was a dope story because like now he must have been with like native tongues, like wrapped up in
Right.
all of that with them
Right.
being influenced, and he from the shy, so you already know it was complete different vibe from what he was experiencing in his hometown, and then being out in Long Island with some of the legendary artists that was hot right there, like you know what I mean. So that I thought that was a dope story to know that like Common spent a good amount of time in New York with native tongues. You know what I mean? Shout out to Common though. He's
Shout out to
not
Common.
only is he an incredible lyricist, he's one of the dopest like hip hop dudes that's acting right now. I think every movie I've seen him in, he's always a pretty good role. I've always enjoyed his films. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I never looked at it like Common in a movie,
Yeah, yeah. Check him
except for
out.
American Gangster. American Gangster, I saw him in,
He's in
and I
John
saw
Wick. He's in a.
yeah, I
He's in
saw that,
John Wick.
and I saw the movie with Steve Carell. What's it called? With him and his wife. Is it called Date Night? I think it's Date Night,
Not sure.
but whatever. All right, next song, Adrenaline, produced by Havoc. I like Adrenaline. I think to me the beat reminds me of Altered Beast from Sega Genesis for some reason.
It's my game.
Yeah, that's a throwback game. Shout out to everybody that has Sega Genesis. Y'all know what I'm
Word,
talking about. Altered Beast, Rise from Your Grave. That was a dope
word.
video game. That beat puts me in the mind of um, Altered Beast.
Power up.
Advance just sampled that song from Ultra Beast, and he got Homeboy Sandman on it, and it's that exact it's that beat, it's that theme song beat or whatever it is from Ultra Beast, but it's pretty
Right.
dope.
Yo, shout out to Homeboy Sam, man. That's a good dude
NGS
right there.
Advance, you
Dope.
know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
NGS. Those are my guys,
He
man.
sampled that.
More piece of GS Advance.
Those are my guys, man. Them dudes is top notch lyricists. You know what I'm
Super.
saying? And yo, like I'm not gonna lie, when I was rhyming and I knew I had to get on the song with GS, I'd be like, yo, Biggs, who on the song? He was like, yo, it's UP Nichols. I'm like, oh man, like yo, I really I gotta go
Word.
then. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, send me the beat. I gotta go. Cause like when you dealing with dudes that got a pen, yo,
Yeah, you
and
gotta
it's all
come with
friendly
it.
competition, and it's never
Of
like, you know what I'm
course.
saying? Like you gotta have the best verse. You gotta like
He different now,
not
yo.
yeah.
He's so
I
he's
heard,
different, bro. It's crazy.
I heard.
It'll be a tragedy if he never gets out there, cause that's like it's like changed the game with hip hop music, yo. Like he pushes the the boundaries basically. And then when he
Nah,
do like
GS
his
been
little
dope.
MC just killer bro
The
MC
brother's
shit,
super
he
gifted.
do shit. He do shit that is like you glad that shit man when he on your side.
Yo,
Cause if he spit that, that's a
you know what's crazy? And
yeah,
shout
that
out to
shit.
GS Advance
He
and
gonna
for the
like
word.
dig. I hope he never spits them rhymes. So he gonna kill
Yo,
whoever.
for the people that's listening, look up GS Advance. You know what I'm saying? Look him
Well,
up, cause like
you
you
won't
know
be
he put
sorry.
you know what's crazy? He puts me in the mind of Doom in like this aspect. You know how Doom will have a reference
Right.
and like Doom have like wild different references. Like yo, why was he thinking about that? That's GS to me. Like when I hear GS, like he'll rhyme, he'll like make a reference, he'll use a metaphor, and I'm just like GS, like when were you watching this to like put this in a rhyme? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, and that's how I felt about Doom. Like Doom will use like these certain
Hmm.
references in his rhymes, and you just
And
like
then the
what?
music,
Like,
the
yeah, yeah.
samples and shit,
And he
like
makes beats too. Yeah, he makes
it's
beats too.
crazy. Yo, like what are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah,
Bro,
But
yeah,
shout out to
yeah,
him,
yeah.
real
Nah,
man.
that dude is talented. He's
he's a
gifted.
big ally to
But
all
let me
of
ask
us,
y'all
you know.
something, yo. Why do y'all think rapper Noid only did what he did in the rap game? Do you think that was like earlier he was
Um,
saying he wanted him to do more than just guest appearing, you know what I mean?
Yo,
But
I had
why
Noid has like 5, 6 albums though. Noid, I mean,
no?
I had. All right, so I had episode of a Hustler.
Right?
I had Only the Strong. I had the joint. I forgot the name of the album where it's like a newspaper. Like he's on the newspaper. He's on like on the front page of a paper, and it has that song "Louder" on it. That
Hmm.
song is fire,
Hmm.
and it's featuring Prodigy actually. And he has a few. I think it's called Built for This. I think he has albums. He has albums, but I don't. I'm not
It'd
sure.
be hard. It'd be hard
I
after
think
two.
it's because like, you know, when Prodigy is like one of the greats, like it's hard to like, I don't want to use the term outshine the master, but like when somebody's at this level, it's hard to like rise up when there's like only room for like one star in a group, you know, kind of like Michael Jackson with the Jackson 5. There's always somebody that sticks out. I mean, I know Wu Tang is different, I know Boot Camp is different, probably Juice Crew is different, but like it's hard for like a couple people to just be at the top together, you know, in
But
one
Noid
group.
had his own deals though, and Noid probably I believe he was independent for a while, so I'm sure he was making noise on the underground scene a little bit.
I
You
know
don't
he
think?
was on FU's album, and that's the last time I heard of him, or the first time since. And I'm sure he's done things. I know he's doing they're doing a new Mobb Deep album with Prodigy's daughter, which
Yeah.
is dope. Santana Fox, right?
With Prodigy, Prodigy's daughter.
Yeah, I think she's pretty
Oh,
dope.
okay, I think
Um,
she's okay.
but that,
I
but to me, that's like a return of rapper Noy because he was not around. You know what I mean?
I
I
haven't
think
heard nothing for a while. I know big. I hear a lot of
yeah,
big twins. I hear a lot of twin.
well, now
I hear a
Hmm.
lot
that's
of
a
twin.
completely different. Exactly. Now Twin wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see like in like who's gonna do something like Nas when they're like 45, 50? Who's gonna do something like LL Cool J? So
Right.
But
like
you know why I
Twin
think
reinvented himself though too,
exactly, which
and
exactly.
he never and he always had the Alchemist connect too.
Yeah, but so does anybody that's fucking IMD, Infamous Mob. Anybody does, yo.
I
Anybody.
don't know because I haven't heard Godfather Part Three rap in a long time.
You
I
don't?
don't
you
know
think
if Ty
maybe
Nitty still
Nitty be
raps like
around, but
that.
he be trying to fit. He like not like he be around, but I don't know how hard he goes. You know what I'm saying? What got Twin popping is one. He moved to California because he wanted to do things like he's
Yeah,
running around with Dirty Digs and all
Dirty
that
Diggs is
stuff.
dope, and
Yeah,
Twin had an ill voice too though.
yeah,
Twin
he
voice is
does.
ill.
It's just he
or
wants to rap. You know what I'm saying? That's all. No, they just maybe they didn't want to keep it going, or they don't know. Like it's kind of hard to rhyme about the same thing at a high level for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like
Yeah,
so what would he pivot to and talk about? Like we could, but what would you really like? You know what I'm saying? Like I think about things like that. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's not too hard to like when I see like my contemporaries working with like legends, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool, but it's like what happened? Did they fall to my level or did I, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'd be a combination of both. But,
hmm
you know what I mean? Because I just think about things like that. And Queensbridge as a whole, like a lot of them aren't like active, but they're kind of active, you know what I'm saying? Like Screwball be kind of active definitely out
I
there.
love Black Poet.
Yeah, and poet is cool peoples, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Poet is dope.
You know what I'm saying? He's always got
They should do a bridge tour, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, but
for everybody. That would be crazy.
right, but
You
it'd
know
be
what I
too
mean?
much. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta include people like Littles and Bars and Hooks and
Right.
V12.
Yeah.
Like
But make it happen
V12's up
though.
there.
A lot of them
That's
dudes don't get along though. I don't think.
Exactly.
It's a lot. It's a lot of
yeah, but
internal. It's a lot
for
of
the for
internal
the
issues.
to solidify your you know, your financial situation, sometimes you gotta,
Alright.
Yo,
you gotta let bygones be bygones
yeah,
and move forward, you know what I
but
mean?
pride stands in the way of a lot.
You got you got you got you got like basically one of the goats like from the town that could headline and basically open up a big bag for everybody to get on. Like, and it, like again, it's one of the most prestigious communities in hip hop. It's Queensbridge, Brownsville, Jamaica, Queens, Compton. Like, you know, it's up there like with all these top neighborhoods. Like, it's only right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But I
I
mean,
mean,
a lot going on.
like I said,
Yeah,
pride is a
I
thing.
knew when Shaw was around, rest in peace, Killer Shaw. He was the one kind of always dealing with like you know what I mean everybody besides Nas and sometimes Havoc because he was still in Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to
yeah.
his crib, and then he used to work a lot with like everybody, and then like he did what he could. You know what I mean? But
You
also
got records with Killer Shaw, right?
yeah, I got. I mean, we've got a lot, but I've got one. You know what I'm saying? That I
I know
definitely.
GS got a few joints with him too.
Yeah, he's only I think it's the joint we have, the joint I have on my album. I think he's on GS's album once, and I think one joint where he GS raps, and another that he produced for Killer Shaw is on the project, and I think that's it. It wasn't
Yo, we closing in on 2 hours, y'all.
yeah yeah
So,
yeah.
you know,
It wasn't
I
on
know
that
we probably
official.
like we
I
sidetracked like crazy with it.
we could finish up. We could finish up the
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My
All right,
bad. I ain't mean to break
no, it's all
wisdom.
good.
Nah, nah, nah.
After
It's
Yeah,
Adrenaline, we got Where You From, and that's featuring Memphis legend 8 Ball from 8 Ball and MJG, and it's
right.
yeah.
produced by T Mix. I like the song. It gives a
I
different
thought it was
feel.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
I like
something different. It was different.
Yeah.
And
right.
I
And I
only
love
read
8 Ball.
about
Eight
them.
Ball was dope.
And you know
Eight
what's great?
ball is super
I
shit.
heard of them, right? Because you would always hear about them in the source or different
Mhm.
magazines, but I never heard them because you know
They,
at the time New
Wait,
York
nah.
wasn't playing nothing
You
well,
didn't see their
out of
videos
the.
on TV? Because I
eight
seen the
eight
videos
ball
on
was on the
TV.
Nah,
Violator album. He was on the
oh
Violator
well,
album. Yeah, they
I didn't
he
know
I
that.
think he got two. He got two joints. He appears twice on the first Violator album.
Why was he violator?
I
Definitely, yeah.
think I think he was. Remember, they were Bad Boy too at one
Yeah, they were
point.
bad boy
I
later
didn't
on
know
too.
that.
But
They were
all
Bad
of
Boy
them,
when they did the Space Odyssey album. That
yeah,
Pimp
once I
Hard, Pimp
later
Harder,
on,
8 Ball and MJG was on Bad
yeah.
Boy. But
The
I
Suave
got
House
put
had
on.
people on MJG, the Suave House, yo.
Yeah, Suave House was dope. I got put on
Yeah.
to Southern rap. I mean, outside of Outkast and these other guys like 3 6 Mafia and all of that. When I went to the military and I'm meeting dudes from Houston, Memphis, Dallas,
Hmm.
Miami. You know, I told you one of my closest dudes in the military with me was from Chicago, and then one was from the Pork and Beans Project, where Trick Daddy is from, and that's how like he put me on the Trick. He put me on
What a
his
name!
Homeboy Society. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
dangerous
remember
too,
that name.
dangerous place. And you know, one of my closest comrades from the military was still is a member of the Vice Lords, and of course he put me on the Twister, you know, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, The
Right, right,
Snipers,
right.
Cap One, or all these dudes, all these dudes. And I put him on the half a mil. He still listen to half a mil to this day because of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yo,
all right, so we gonna continue.
Rest in peace, half a mil.
Word, dope
real
lyricist.
quick, real quick. One, shout out to my son, Unique Loren. That's a low life brother. That's half a mil's like best friend cousin. Like that's his
What's his
cousin.
name?
But is Unique Loren. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Shout out to him. And I went to high school in Atlanta. Yo, and then you mentioned the Vice Lords. Like when I was in high school in Atlanta in '98, yo, I seen them like the way like I seen them do a handshake to a person, and the way they turn their finger can determine if they're an op or an ally, and
Yeah, because the
probably
folks was down, Folk Nation was down there too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how
And
the
probably
GDs
like
and all of that
yeah, if there
got
was a
down
dude
there.
from Chicago, there was a dude from Chicago when I was in high school. He was from he was vice lord, and he would go
Right.
up to people and give them a pound, and then do something, and then maybe not. They're gonna fight on the spot, yo. And I was like, and then white people in the trailer parks folked out, like
Yeah,
white
of course.
people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy, yo.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah.
And I went to high school with ABC, like another bad creation. I think like two of the members were in my high
Okay.
school. I went to Tri Cities in Atlanta,
Oh, that's
and then I
crazy.
went to North Clayton in '98. Then I came back
That's crazy.
to New York to Honey Zone, and that was that, yo. But yeah, man, let's get to
Uh,
this.
so we got after that we got Quiet Storm. Everybody knows Quiet Storm.
Yeah.
On the unreleased version, it's called White Lines.
I like that
Produced,
version better.
yeah, produced by Havoc. They don't have the hook in that version. It's just
Hmm.
Prodigy talking in between verses. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
Havoc's not on that. You know what I mean?
And I
I thought
think
that was
P
that's
got a P has the extra verse, right?
yeah. P
Is
does
that
have an
right?
extra verse,
And I thought
and
it was tough.
I like that joint because that was what was being played on the Clue tapes at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right.
It was being played on
And
Clue
and
tapes.
the remix version, right, is what led to all the beef between Foxbug and Foxy Brown and Lil Kim, right, and all of that
Right,
transpired with the Hot
right. Yeah,
97.
after she got on the CNN song on Bang Bang and all of that. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they was trading
That shit.
shots from them.
That
I
Um.
Bang
heard
Bang, that Alchemist was crazy, that beat.
Yeah.
Bang Bang.
I heard how
Um.
Prodigy just took the beat and just did it, and then like after they heard his verses, they let him stay on it because it's supposed to be for like Havoc. Havoc was supposed to be on it, but I think he either fell asleep and Prodigy just kept rocking out and did what he did
Mm,
the first version.
that song is dope.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
remix
yeah.
is dope too, but
He
Yeah, it
that
is
couldn't
dope.
deny it.
original,
Like, the verses was crazy. He couldn't deny it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
After
it
that,
was.
we got Where Your Heart At. We talked about that with the Sade Fear sample. After that, we got Three the Hard Way featuring Noid again. Al Green sample of Love and Happiness. That song was cool. They probably couldn't clear the Al Green sample. And,
Hmm.
or probably that Love and Happiness sample been used in hip hop a lot. I'm not even
Just
going to count how many times, but that Al Green been sampled a lot in hip hop. After that, we got Thug Music featuring the infamous Mob, produced by the Alchemist.
fire.
That's a
Like
fire
that
song.
joint. Like that
Um,
shit.
yeah. Then after that, we got The Realist featuring Cool G Rap, P's favorite, produced by
Yeah.
the Alchemist. Dope Cool G
Fire.
Rap verse.
And the
Then after
Fire.
Alchemist
that,
is smooth. It's a
we
dope
got yeah, we got USA, aka I Then, produced by Epitome and Shamelo Buddha.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
They
I'm good
had a
on that
remix.
one.
It was like a fake club song, I guess.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
alright. It was alright. I wasn't mad at it.
yeah.
Streets Raised Me, featuring Noid and
Fire.
Chinky.
Fire.
Um, and that's it on the unreleased version. But the other songs on there on the actual release, the studio release, were "It's Mine" featuring
Hmm.
Nas, and
Yeah.
what's the song? What's the name of the song with Raekwon?
I
That
forgot, but that's fire though.
there's a song with Raekwon. Sorry, forgot the
I
name
got it
of the
right here.
song.
I'm gonna pull it up right here. I got it. Hold on.
That song was fire. Raekwon went off on that.
Can't. It's called "Can't F With" featuring
Yeah,
Raekwon.
yeah, featuring Raekwon, right? And then we got
That beat is crazy.
yeah, we got the infamous Scarface sample "It's Mine" featuring
Yeah.
Nas,
Word.
which
Fire.
L thinks they was taking shots at Pop.
I feel like it. You
They
think
might
Halle
have.
Berry really blew a kiss at Nas at the Barbra Streisand concert?
No,
Yeah,
but it
he did
sound
the
dope.
basketball shit.
Sounded
He
dope,
did
It
right?
the
sound dope.
basketball
Just like Ghost said, um, what he say?
But that's a
Finger
real
and
one.
Pamela Lee. We on the balcony. Did one of y'all to
Word.
Malcolm X me? He said he spilled ketchup on on somebody's dress on from a Whopper
Right.
that he was eating.
Yeah.
We don't believe that. I mean, it's just lyrics.
Yeah, but
Uh,
that's
Right,
when
right, right,
that
right.
basketball shit trying to bite
yeah,
Ray
that's
and
what he was trying to be. Yeah, because he started the verse off with silk shirts and my chest show where to flirt.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
You know, and they driving the speedboat in the video. I
yeah.
mean,
I
That's
think
overall, it was a dope album.
very dope, and
Um,
I think I was discussing it with Watt. To me, the infamous Hell on Earth and Murder Music, that to me probably one of the best three album runs in hip
Tim
hop.
Prodigy's solo album. After that, it was basically
oh, that
nonsense.
Right.
solo album is crazy. That
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
HNIC is
Right.
yeah. No, it's
but
incredible.
like I said before, that album, Murder Music, certified platinum. Um, the weekly charted billboards in the top 200. They was number 3, and by year's end, they were 136. And for the R&B and hip hop category, year end they were 46. And the weekly they were number 2. So the album really did well.
Yeah, it
You
had
know,
commercial success.
yeah,
Had commercial success.
yeah, yeah,
Probably changed their lives or elevated their
right,
situation. And
right.
Prodigy was at his best, I think, on that album.
Because
To me,
remember, Loud folded
Havoc,
after that. Remember,
right?
Loud folded after that, and all they album they had the Free Agent CD that they came out with
So
that when they
that's why
didn't
they
have a
went
deal.
to Columbia, right? Because
Right.
Loud was being distributed by
Actually, yeah,
RCA.
this album was on Columbia.
Right,
Remember, it was Columbia
right,
slash Loud because Loud
right,
was like you said owned by RCA, and then Loud folded,
right,
and then
right.
I guess wasn't they on Jive for a minute too?
Yep, yeah,
They was on
yep.
Jive afterwards, but I don't recall what HNIC was under. I'm not sure if it was under Columbia or Loud.
I don't remember.
Um, but
I don't remember.
yeah, I think this is the most they sold. Beside, I'm not sure how much Blood Money did when
Probably
they was with G
Blood
Unit.
Money, probably, yeah. Blood Money probably did
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
because G
because it was
Unit
G
was on
Unit. Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
Not as big as that album.
No,
Murder Music.
maybe not.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Murder Music did well.
We'll get the facts on that for the
And
next episode and drop that.
right,
You
and
know what
for
I
those
mean?
that don't know, they did a Murder Music movie also,
yeah, I seen
Right,
that.
right, right,
and it had its own sound. It had its own separate soundtrack also.
right.
That was
Yeah,
really crazy, and everybody in
so,
Queensbridge was in the movie, including Nas, Littles, all the infamous Mobb. Like a lot of people was in that movie, and it was cool. And I think it was written by Prodigy, if I'm not mistaken. I think
that's
Prodigy
dope.
wrote the movie.
Was Sha in that movie?
Who?
Killer Sha.
I can't recall if Shaw was in that movie. I don't know. I don't know.
Yo,
And
fans,
it's rare too. It's rare to find too. Like I can't find it nowhere. You know how you got all these streaming platforms, Tubi, Peacock. I can't find it.
yeah.
I don't even
Yo,
think it's on YouTube.
fans of Mobb Deep should definitely, after listening to this, throw all of their albums on. Just let Mobb Deep bump out. Probably go the whole day without, you know what I'm saying, skipping anything.
I'm
It's a
sure.
lot of fire, man. Mob got one of the best discographies, it's to me. You know what I mean? I think it's one of my favorite discographies. It's to me tighter than everybody else. Just from, like I said, the infamous to Hell on Earth to Murder Music. I'm not too big on Infamy, but America's Nightmare I like a lot. A lot.
And for me, it was okay, but like I
Free
said,
Agents. Free
yeah,
Agents was
Free Agents was
crazy.
dope. Free Agents was
Crazy. Double
bananas.
album was crazy in
Yeah,
Free
Free
Agents.
Agents was bananas. But
Um,
Infamy was okay. Some of the joints was okay, but I feel Prodigy was like, I
yeah.
think Jay-Z was in his head. Like he was focused on dissing Jay-Z so
He had to
much.
spell a King Goo on
And Leviathan. Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Yo,
He
but
was so focused on that he couldn't, have had to carry.
he wasn't really trying to rhyme words.
yo, listen,
Yeah,
we're
he
gonna
wasn't.
wrap it up.
Mhm.
Respectfully, shout out to everybody that stood 2 hours with us for the episode. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. And if you know people that would like this type of content, share it with
Share it.
them.
Word.
You know what I mean? We're trying to build a platform up. We're trying to be consistent with this. We're going to talk about a lot of things that we love about hip hop culture, hip hop music. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that we experience in the streets, a lot of knowledge that we learned through the Zulus, through the Spades. We're going to be touching on a lot of things, and I hope everybody tunes in and taps in and keeps tapped in to Spears and Mics.
We're gonna have more guests too, because I
Yeah,
know a lot
definitely.
of people appreciated the brother Zulu King Facts and
Right.
Pluto Seven
Yeah,
dropping that information, that history, and that knowledge.
yes.
So I know a lot of people appreciated that, and we're gonna try to have those two brothers back and more
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
individuals.
Listen,
You know,
if you got some type of knowledge, information, you Zulu, you Black Spade, you 5%, reach out to us. Let's build. Let's bridge some gaps. Let's share information. Let's search out the truth. Speak on it. We would love to have brothers from like the Black Spades on here, like Tiny, Charlie Rock. We would love to have brothers like Alien Nest from MZK. You know what I mean? People that have been in the culture, been in the streets, and did a lot. And we want to share the stories that y'all experience with the world, because we know some of y'all stories, but the world needs to hear it.
Right.
So any of these great big Zulus and big spades that we came up under, y'all want to be on the show, please, it would be an honor for us to hold you onto the show and share your story with the world. Reach out to us. But make sure y'all hit that like, make sure y'all hit that subscribe, share all of that. Drop a comment on the video, drop questions. spearsandmics@gmail.com is our email. You know what I mean? And I'm your host, Zulu King L1, and your other host right here, Zulu King Just P, and the brother Y Slice, the 49ers, man, chapter 25, chapter 17, chapter 7. Salute to all the Z's, peace to all the Z's. New York to all the way out west and all around the world. You heard?
more peace.
Peace.
Peace.